The following is a presentation of The Day.
It's Friday the 13th, and soon a full moon will rise over the campus of East Lyme High School, and a sense of mystery hangs with it as we have a battle of Vikings. And you're going to hear it and see it live on game day. On theday.com, Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, and coming all the way down from Stamford, is it the Minnesota Vikings? It's the Westhill Vikings, and we have a battle of the Viking here tonight on our opening game on game day.
Yeah, one of these intersectional matchups, Casey, for the ECC today, taking on a team from the other end of the state. You know, last year, Westhill 1-9 under second-year head coach Joe DeVillis. East Lyme last year 6-4, Rudy Bagos at the helm. So interesting matchup, two different styles for both these teams on the field tonight.
Yeah, you can expect East Lyme to be very physical, although it should be noted that they'll be without their leader and the leading rusher on the team. Blaine Hart out with an injury tonight. And when I talked with Westhill coach DeVillis, he was very concerned about Hart. He said he's a stud, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. Well, he's going to have to deal with a different Hart tonight, but it's not going to be Blaine.
It's going to be Cam Hart, his brother, and a little bit of running back by committee here for head coach Rudy Bagos. I had a chance to get on the field before the game and see the kids work out. You know, it's what next man up, as Coach Bagos would say. Casey, it's a nice matchup here. This is two different styles. You're going to see the big offensive line and the big bodies up front for East Lyme, and a little more of a scrappy bunch that we'll talk about for Westhill.
Well, you got a big bunch when number 58 offensive lineman JoJo Higgins is the guy kicking off. That's a 250-pound kicker right there. He's going to be banging it deep as the Vikings in maroon, East Lyme, kicking to the Vikings in purple and gold of Westhill. And the ball comes down to Sam Edward at about the 15-yard line. He makes a nice move and slips between two defenders, but comes down at the 20. And the Westhill will set up shop. 1st and 10 with the first possession of the ball game. And that means quarterback Matt O'Connor will have our first chance to look at him. And Westhill very high on this young man.
Yeah, I had a chance to see him on the field, Casey, before the game. Throws a good deep ball. They have to spread it out, get the ball to the athletes in open space, but a lot of eyes on him. Again, East Lyme had a chance to see some film on him, from Norwalk last year, some of the common opponents. So they will keep an eye on him. They'll run spread from the get-go.
Well, he'll step right back early on, and they do spread it out with 4 wide receivers. They'll send Lewis in motion. High snap, but handled well. A handoff ball's loose on the turf, and it's loose still. It looks like the Vikings of East Lyme have recovered it. First play from scrimmage. Handoff went to Matt Ricaldi, and he put it on the turf, and the Vikings recovered East Lyme just the way they wanted to start, inside the 10-yard line. Big turnover.
Well, Friday the 13th special dialed up right there for East Lyme, Casey. Big pop by the defensive line, and he's going to set up shop. It looks like at about, the 10-yard line?
Right at the 10-yard line.
1st and goal for the 10 Vikings.
Yep, they'll drop the sticks, and that means we'll get a chance now to see Noah Perry, quarterback of East Lyme, and he will lead them out. We'll see how they start. And they do start with Cam Hart in the backfield. He's the lone setback, standing next to Perry. Motion man cuts across. Perry hands off up the middle to Hart. Hart breaks a tackle and drags inside the 10 down to about the 6-yard line. And East Lyme wants to establish that physical play here early.
Big hole for Hart early. Nice stop by number 5, Tyrese. Nice stop in the middle. Casey, Noah Perry, he's a senior. He's been around this program a few years. He backed up Chris Salem. He is no stranger to the quarterback position. We'll see how he does in his leadership ability out there this year.
2 wide receivers to the right, and East Lyme sends Owen Robbins wide left. Hart in the backfield with Perry. Perry's going to roll right, looking to throw. Pressured, steps up, throws to the end zone, and it's down on the turf. Beautiful play. Jordan McDonald, the safety of Westhill, slanted over and got a fingertip on it and knocked it down to the turf. Well thrown ball, but better play by McDonald.
Perry a little bit late on that throw, I thought, in the flat. Senior looking for his first touchdown pass of the year. Nice job, like you said, by McDonald closing out.
Early pressure by Omari Lewis. And one thing about Westhill, they're small, they're fast, they run to the ball. You're not going to see a lot of size out there, but there's guys flying around. So East Lyme is going to have their hands full with the quickness from Westhill. 3rd and goal. Perry fakes the handoff to Hart, keeps it himself, and he is hit immediately. Nothing doing. Center of the line and coming out of the pack, big 75, John Liberatore. And it's going to be 4th and goal for the East Lyme Vikings.
And like Mean Joe Green out there, number 75, stuffing the holes. That time a little quarterback read option by Perry. Nothing doing.
And that's a surprising call. Only in Rudy Bagos was pretty clear that Perry's job is to throw the ball. He's really not much of a threat running the football. Down here on the goal line, you wouldn't think he'd get much attention, but the middle of the line there, Liberatore was right on top of it.
You're going to roll a dice for it and go for it here on 4th down.
Well, you're not going to try to kick a 30-yard field goal here. They want to punch it in. Snap, handled, over the middle, thrown in. Almost a beautiful catch, but just off the fingertips of Scotty Galbo. Turnover on downs, and the turnover by Westhill is avenged by, if you will, by their defense, and they'll take over on their 2nd offensive possession.
Galbo had a step that time. The throw was just a little bit in front of him, Case. Tried to one-hand it and corral it. Couldn't bring it in. No harm, no foul for Westhill. The defense gets the offense off the hook.
Yeah, I think that time Perry was about 6 inches from 2 different touchdown passes, both of them just off the fingertips of his receiver. So O'Connell goes back to work now. Quick throw, out it goes to Ryder, and he breaks a tackle and gets about 6 yards. That's Ryder Kurtz, the wide receiver, number 84 for Westhill. Big target and only a sophomore.
And Joe DeVillis talked about, getting the ball to receivers and athletes in space. And that time you saw a good example of it. You saw the strong arm that time by O'Connell.
Hickson and Engel will now split. They're going to reshift. In the backfield is Jamar Amy alongside of O'Connell. From the shotgun, trips right now. O'Connor to throw. Pressured over the middle, has his man breaking a tackle. It's Hickson. Down the sideline goes C.J. Hickson. Hickson crosses the 50, the 40, and loses the football on the turf. And it looks like East Lyme says they have it at the 30, and what a change of events this would be.
Westhill is saying, hey, we got it, coach. We got it. He was down. But what a nice little pitch and catch from O'Connor to Hickson across the middle. Casey, good for almost 40 yards. And there you see the athletes in space.
Hickson taps his helmet. He says, Coach, I need a blow. I need to come off over here for a second. And he's going to get replaced by Kevin Sanchez. And it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Westhill.
Very easy play call that time. Getting Hickson coming across the middle. And he did all himself.
A lot of time. O'Connor put the ball right on the money. And just like that, Westhill back in good shape. This time, handoff up the middle to Amy, and nothing there. Stuffed Dan Brothers, Zachary Todd. Zachary Todd stepped in and put his 55 right onto Amy. It's going to be a loss of 4.
Some confusion that time between running back Jamar Amy and the quarterback, and it's a little bit of timing off. He's going to go to right, he's going to go to the left. It's that first game jitters out there, Casey.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get used to each other right now. It's early season. Now we see Amy go in motion. We're going to get our first flag of the day. I think that one's going to go against Westhill, only because of where it was thrown and when it was thrown.
Legal procedure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, when the defense is set and nothing's going on, it's really hard to get a flag called on you. So you got to assume it was
6 guys on the line, maybe.
Yeah, because when Amy went in motion,
that's when the flag came down.
That's when the flag came down. So back them up. It'll be now 2nd and close to 20. Call it 19.
Hickson in the slot. Keep an eye on him. Number 21.
Amy now same formation. Now they put Amy back on the line. So 5 receivers, empty set with O'Connor from the shotgun. Quick hitch, out it goes, and the catch is made by Kurtz, and he'll get close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and call it 11.
Well, the luxury of having a big target like Ryder Kurtz on the outside, can stand up and make that catch. It's an easy throw, pitch and catch, good for 9.
Yeah, only a sophomore is Ryder Kurtz, and with that size, look forward to see what he could do in the next game.
And a game like that, Casey, makes it manageable on 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 11, and down here you're looking maybe even at 4-down territory. You might not punt it from down here, depending on what they get. Here again, empty set, 5 receivers. O'Connor, quick throw over the middle, and that time there was issues. I'm not sure if he was throwing that to Lewis or if he was throwing that to Hickson, but neither of them turned their heads.
And if he was throwing it to Lewis, it would have been an easy touchdown. Lewis had inside position, Casey, nobody in front of him. Omari Lewis with the step on the inside, missed by his quarterback.
East Lyme, they caught East Lyme in a zone. Two guys were running wide open through the zone, but it's going to be 4th down, and Westhill will go for it. Ball's marked at the 30-yard line of East Lyme. O'Connor drops back, has time, has his man. 1st down to the 15-yard line. Pass complete to Omari Lewis, the junior wide receiver. 1st down, Westhill.
They see Lewis, that play, Casey, they switched him in the formation. They put him from the right side to the left side. Again, the speed right now for Westhill is really the difference.
Well, he said, Coach Davila said they're going to throw it more than they run it. And so far, true to that statement is O'Connor having time and throwing a good ball. O'Connor to throw again. Out in the flat, has his man. That's Lewis again, and he'll have it down close to another 1st down. It looks like he's going to be inside the 10. They're going to mark it at the 9-yard line.
Lewis right now is a tough matchup for that East Lyme defense. You know, he's fast. He can create some space. Have to try and get help. Hart's on him right now in the line. Try and jam him a little bit.
Amy in the backfield with O'Connor. O'Connor drops, throws in the end zone, overshoots Kurtz. No flag, as that was incidental contact, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5 from about the 9-yard line.
A little miscommunication that time. Kurtz was coming inside. O'Connor was throwing that ball to the back pylon. I like the way he throws the ball, though. He's just, he is solid.
Confident kid, big kid. He'll have it now, 3rd down from the 9, 3rd and 5. Drops O'Connor, time. Now he dumps in the middle, dangerous pass. I think he was trying to shovel it into Omari Lewis, but it hit the helmet of one of the linemen, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
4th down. About 4 yards to go for Westhill.
Big people up front for East Lyme. We talked about the size, the
about the
ability to
9-yard
own the
line.
line of scrimmage, East Lyme defense.
You know, interesting how we've started. I mean, Westhill fumbles on its first possession. East Lyme moves the ball a little bit, and then Westhill holds. Now Westhill goes right down the field, and here we go, facing a 4th down. Now they're going to go from the I, under center. O'Connor drops, has time, in the end zone, and just overshoots Jack Engel. And East Lyme's defense has held both teams with shots in the red zone that go for naught. And the Viking, East Lyme Vikings, will take over with their turn on downs. Well, we always want to know, where are you watching right now? And our pictures are always welcome. Facebook, Twitter, on Game Day CT. Where are you watching the game? Send us a picture of you and the device and where you are, and of course, we'll put it up and talk about how awesome you are. So if you want to be talked about and your awesomeness, send us a picture. Where are you watching tonight's game? Perry hands off to Hart up the middle, breaks a tackle, driving forward. I'll tell you what, whether it's Cam or Blaine, the Harts run with, well, Hart.
Tough kid. Both these kids very tough.
They're not a going down on first contact kind of runner.
You know, they're both downhill runners too. You're not going to see a lot of east-west. You know, and just get to the hole, hit the hole, and play around. Yeah, shake a tackle, and you got 5 yards.
Yeah, they're bully runners, and I mean that in a good way. They're looking for contact. They're not trying to sidestep you. Make a tackle. 2nd and 5. Perry again gives it to Hart, and that time, nice job in the open field. Good tackle, Westhill, Ricaldi, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Ricaldi stepped in and hit Hart straight on. That was a good linebacker on running back tackle.
Senior linebacker Matthew Ricaldi, one of those kids that Joe DeVillis had talked about buying into the program. You know, worked hard in the offseason, bought in, and obviously it shows on the field.
3rd down and 5, manageable 3rd down. East Lyme tried to use its size there on back-to-back runs, and now they're going to have to put the ball in the air, I believe. Perry's going to have 2 receivers left, 1 right, and Hart will be in the backfield with him. Perry drops, has time, deep down the sideline, has his man in the air, and it's just behind his intended receiver, Galbo, at the 40-yard line. Galbo was open. Not a bad throw, but miscommunication on the shoulder, and the Vikings are going to have to punt.
They got a 30-yard wheel route that time from Galbo from the tight end position, Casey. Perry's showing you the arm strength. A little too much air that time, a little behind his runner. But, yeah, good throw by Noah Perry that time.
And that means it's time to trot out your punter. 58, JoJo Higgins also punts for East Lyme. And I got to tell you, we've been doing these a long time, you and I.
And number 10, Kevin Sanchez.
And I'm going to ask Peter Wappy, our producer, off the air.
East Lyme.
Have we ever seen a punter as big as JoJo Higgins, the offensive lineman of East Lyme? And I don't think so. Can you think of anybody as big as JoJo Higgins?
No, punter, kicker, does it all. He is a big kid.
Now, New London had a lineman who was their kickoff guy for a while, but Owen George was their punter. I've never seen a punter as big as JoJo Higgins.
260 at punter.
I like to see can't wait to see what he's going to do with the ball here. Stands inside his own 10. Good snap and a high kick coming down at the 40-yard line and put on the turf by Kevin Sanchez, but he recovers it, and Westhill, both teams with a little chance of fumbleitis, but Westhill has had, 4 fumbles? They've been lucky enough to recover 3 of them.
You know, since that opening first play of the game where Westhill fumbled it, they've owned field position. I understand these things, but they've had the best success moving the football.
Well, they got the great field position right now at the East Lyme 40-yard line. O'Connor will go from the shotgun. I can't say the Viking 40-yard line because, well, they're both the Vikings. The Vikings versus the Vikings. O'Connor throws, quick little out route, complete to Hickson, and he goes out of bounds right near the marker. They're going to mark him at the 32, so it'll bring up 2nd and 1, and that's just too easy.
Yeah, so they line up Hickson in a slot, Casey, and sometimes they run him across the middle, and sometimes they drag him down the outside. It's almost like a little pick play on the outside there with number 7. He goes inside, Engel goes inside, and then Hickson goes to the outside.
Well, a lot of good. I mean, Lewis has been. We see Lewis, Hickson, Kurtz, good wideouts here for O'Connor.
And he's using all of his targets. He's spreading the ball around.
2nd down, gets it out of his hands quickly. Ball in the air. That was off of Amy.
O'Connor's pass incomplete, intended for Amy.
Out of bounds it goes.
High, hot fastballs off the shoulder pad. Dangerous.
Jamar Amy has had limited success running the ball so far. That time, that pass was, like you said, a little too hot for him. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. Ball is at the 32-yard line, and O'Connor will go from the shotgun, and Amy will be his lone set. Amy gets the handoff, and he is hit almost immediately and brought down very quickly. Nice job in the open field. Josh Morton with the tackle.
Our guy number 8, T.J. Horner, filling in too.
T.J. Horner,
the stick.
One of the more physical players in whatever sport he plays in, and that's going to bring up 4th and 1. And I don't think Amy was thinking he was going to get hit quite like that. He went down quick. 4th and 1 for Westhill. O'Connor's going to throw out Powdern and off the top of the hands of Kurtz. He had the big tight end or big wideout. He had steps. Owen Robbins wasn't there, but too high, and kind of a disappointing series right there for Westhill.
Maybe a little too cute of a play call on 4th and 1. Maybe you go back to your running back and trust your offensive line to make a little hole for him, and and just get yourself 3 feet. That's all 1 yard is, I do believe.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Would you like to translate it into meters?
No.
All right.
But I'm a little surprised the play call there. Maybe just rely on your offensive line and give your running back a chance to make a play.
Out comes the Vikings of East Lyme now. Ball at their own 30-yard line. They have not had much success yet offensively. Perry will operate from the shotgun. Pressure up the middle. Hands off to Hart. Hart tries to bounce it outside, slips a tackler, and he's brought down from behind by Ricaldi, but not after until a gain of about 4 yards. Nice patient running there from Cam Hart. Cam Hart as Ricaldi comes and gets him from behind.
Ricaldi's become a tackling machine really going in this football game from side to side, north and south. East Lyme will take a timeout and call things over because, to be honest with you, that play was almost blown up in the backfield. Hart had to bounce to the outside and earn a supper. 3 yards.
As always, our coaches are hardwired tonight. We've got Rudy Bagos, the East Lyme head coach, and Joe DeVillis. And I want to say a special thank you to Coach DeVillis, who coming all the way from Stanford and not as familiar with what we do here at Game Day, was like, yeah, sign me up, let's go. And then he asked you the same question that all of the coaches ask you. You're not going to put anything bad on there, right?
It's edited, Coach. That's a 2-day turnover.
So it's going to be 2nd down for East Lyme as they come up here after the timeout and see if they put a little wrinkle in or something there on 2nd down, or just if Coach Bagos just did not like their effort, perhaps their efficiency here on offense.
A little chat with the offensive line until these kids start firing up the ball.
Perry. Out toss. Hart. He breaks the tackle of Hickson, but then flying to the football comes Tyrese Bazile to clean it up. And that's what Westhill does. They fly to the football, 11 guys, quickness.
Yeah, and we're only 8 minutes into this game, but speed right now is definitely on the sides of Westhill. I mean, they're a little undersized up front, but their linebackers, you know, with Ricaldi and Hickson, these two-way players, like you said, they can fly to the football.
Yeah, Bazile is the guy in the center that makes their defense go. When I asked Coach about his guys, he said, it is my linebacking core that I rely on, Bazile and Ricaldi and McDonald out of the safety spot. And so far, they have held true as they've been flying to the football. Fake handoff to Hart. Perry pressured, and he's going to be sacked. Matthew Ricaldi from the inside linebacker position, and the Vikings of East Lyme are going to have to punt away the football.
Ricaldi came unabated on an outside linebacker blitz that time. Casey got caught up on a fake handoff, turned around, and Noah Perry was in his breadbasket and wrapped him up and made the tackle. Ricaldi has come to play here tonight.
That'll bring my guy, JoJo Higgins.
And 11 for East Lyme. That'll bring JoJo Higgins.
Final score for you. Woodstock Academy, 31. Ledger, 27.
TJ Hickson.
As very few games being played this evening. Higgins will punt. He's at his own 18-yard line. No pressure. And he gets off a high, booming punt. And it's going to take a East Lyme bounce and go out at the 35-yard line. Stonington 40, Montville 34. Game suspended after the third quarter. The completion date and time to be determined.
Game suspended why? Do you have an answer, Peter? Mosquitoes? Wow.
The Mosquito. So obviously,
Stonington scored 40 points in the game,
and Montville scored 34.
Wow.
So
see them next week.
And we will. So we'll talk a little bit about the three worst letters in sports right now, which is EEE. We'll talk about that momentarily. But first down, Westhill. Ball is at their 34-yard line, and O'Connor will have trips left. Fakes the handoff to Amy, and instead hits Engel on a slant, and Engel quickly wrestled to the ground by Will Anglin, but not after a nice gain again on first down. It's going to bring up a very short 2nd and 2.
Good strong hands that time by Angle, getting that ball and taking it in. And I like the way these Westhill receivers work. You see them get inside position, they shield the defender with their body, and O'Connor delivers the ball right on the button.
A lot of games moved from tonight till tomorrow. And obviously a curfew imposed in Stonington due to some of the outbreak of the equine encephalitis. And that's going to lead us to see Xavier Enabegi move to tomorrow, Kaden Mungan move to tomorrow. Valley, Old Lyme with a sack for the safety, and they lead Morgan 2-0 in a pitcher's duel. 6:27 remaining in the first period.
TJ Horner with a nice play that time by East Lyme. Case on defense, 5-yard loss. Horner's one of our favorites on game day.
Absolutely. 2nd and 15 now. It's going to be a long second down. O'Connor will set up shop again. Plenty of time. Out pattern to Engel, and he keeps his feet in bounds at the 48-yard line. Nice pitch and catch that time. End of the first quarter. Waterford 7, Plainfield nothing. Ryan Bakken with a 28-yard touchdown pass to Michael Vincent. Get used to hearing that combination this year. Waterford's going to throw the football around. And they are the Sports Doctor's sleeper pick in the ECC.
Yeah, I like their skill people. Jack Engel walking a tightrope on the sidelines that time. That's a big-time catch.
Yeah, that was nicely done. I like the way O'Connor throws the ball. Here he throws it again on a slant to Engel, and that time he was popped by Coleman Groff. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and short. And this is where I want to see them put the ball in Amy's stomach.
Yeah.
And see if they can push East Lyme around a little bit.
They're going to punt right here, but that was a tough throw on third. I think it's 4th down.
It is in fact 4th down.
Yeah.
And they're going to punt, which honestly surprises me a little bit. I think that as good as their offense has been, and quite honestly as stagnant as East Lyme's offense has been, I'd go for it right here. But I'm not them, and they're not me, and it's 4th down, and we're going to punt from a very interesting formation.
Yeah, I think Jamar Amy can make some plays out there with his feet. There's no doubt about it. I think you're right.
Nasir Thornton, sophomore, is the punter.
The difference in the size of the kickers.
And it's about a 150-pound difference in size of the kickers. And he's far back. That's a long snap. Vikings rush, and they get a piece. It's partially blocked. Getting to the football, Hunter Lewis, the junior partially blocked, and the Vikings will take over right around midfield.
Yeah, they basically gained 4. There's a flag down. They basically gained 4 yards from the punt. Let's see what the flag is. I think it's against Westhill.
The flag is down on the play.
Illegal formation, illegal procedure.
Again, interesting punt formation. And that's he was a good 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's a long snap.
I think it's spread, too. They took guys. Yeah, illegal formation. That's the call.
You hear the term long snapper? The Westhill kid earns it. Gets a long snap. Minute remaining here in period number 1. We are scoreless rather, in this battle of the Vikings. As game day, proud to bring you its first of many high school sporting events this fall. We'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved in what sporting events we do. Under center now, Perry. Hands it off to Hart. Hart drags a couple of defenders forward for a gain of 4. Brought down by Sequoia Cheatham.
Hart coming across the formation. A little quick hitter, Casey. A little load up the box, and let's see if our running back can bust a tackle. He gets into that second level. There's a lot of green grass in front of him. But, you know, Joe DeVille has talked about poor tackling with you last night. They've played very solid football on defensive end right now.
Yeah, they've made good tackles.
Yeah.
He was very concerned. He said in their scrimmages there, he was really disappointed in their tackling. So this has got to be a good start so far.
What helps, too, for them right now is a lot of guys to the ball. So, I mean, 6 guys can't make poor tackles, can they?
No. Handoff. Straight up the middle. Flag comes in on the play. Aiden Carey on the carry. But it's going to come back.
Going to be holding against East Lyme. Takedown by the center that time, right in the middle of things. Kevin Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be backed up. A costly penalty when the Vikings had just gotten a nice gain on first down. Not what you want to see here. It'll back them up. It's going to bring up 2nd and 20. And really, East Lyme has done nothing offensively with the football.
They're not helping themselves one bit. Not at all on the offensive side. They had a 1st and goal gift wrap in the first play of the game. Couldn't convert. Good field position here off the shank punt. And they're going backwards.
I like them under center, though. I like trying to get more physical right now, and that's what they're doing. A little tighter up. Perry.
Going to take the end of the quarter.
Yep, going to go to the end of the quarter. There it is. And we are at the end of the first quarter. No score here at East Lyme High School.
No score.
And we will be back with second quarter action. On the other side, you're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
Days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
We are back on Game Day Live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien. Mike DeMoro patrols the sidelines. And
it's not raining.
It's
it's not. And it's over 45 degrees.
And new thing this year in Game Day, you can hear in the background the bands that are playing right now from East Lyme. Well, we'll talk about that in a little while, but if you want to control our destiny, our fate, where we go, it is in your hands. You, the viewers, can decide where we go in October, what games we do: football, soccer, cross country, lacrosse, volleyball. There's no lacrosse in the fall, so volleyball, field hockey. I will gladly tell you now, go to theday.com/gameday for your link to nominate who you want to see. What game? I want you to do the blank versus blank field hockey game. And if you can garner enough votes, we will go and we'll do that game. Perry rolls, pressured, throws, and it's caught by Galbo, crossing the 40 and brought down at the 30-yard line. Biggest play of the game. Perry to his favorite receiver, Scotty Galbo.
Galbo just missed one in the first quarter off his fingertips, went down and got it that time from Perry. Galbo 35 yards on the pitch and catch, held on and finished it off very nicely, Case. Biggest play, East Lyme needed that in the worst way in their offensive confidence.
Well, give Perry a ton of credit because he could sense the rush. He got
feeling heat.
He got drilled as soon as he threw the football, but he stayed in the pocket, stepped into the throw, and what an athletic catch by Galbo. Not only to make the catch, but to keep going and turn it into a big game. First down handoff goes to Carey. And Aiden Carey will have about 6 yards on first down. And that's that physicality we talked about up front.
Yep, there you go. We showed you the little pitch and catch, and you're 35 yards on one play. Now we're going to line you up and start pushing you around a little bit. And I think this is the kind of game that Coach Rudy Bagos wants. He wants it tough. He wants it physical. He wants to win this game in the trenches with his biggins up front.
Yeah, it feels like Westhill isn't sure of what they want to be on offense. So they're kind of spreading the ball all over the place, running it a little bit. Success and then failure. East Lyme knows what it wants to be. It wants to be
keep
this
it simple
physical.
right here. Yep.
Gotcha. In motion, Hart with the handoff, and not a lot there, but breaking a tackle and reaching for the first down. All Hart, Cam Hart that time, and that's going to be very close to an East Lyme first down. I think it'll bring up third and maybe a foot.
Yeah, the north-south, the ability, like you said, the bully running and just to get himself over the line of scrimmage and drag a couple bodies for 3 or 4 yards. You know, definitely 4-down territory here, 3rd and 2. But he is a handful to tackle in a one-on-one setting. He got popped at the line of scrimmage, turned into a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, Sequoia Cheatham had him in the backfield, and he bounced off. And that's a middle linebacker with some size. And he bounced off of him, and like we said, very close. It's going to be 3rd, and we'll call it a long yard. Perry again sends Hart in motion. Hands off to the other Carey. Carey forcing his way forward, and he's going to have enough for a first down with the second effort. Aiden Carey, the junior running back there, I think was stopped on first contact and then plowed forward.
No, that was a great stop that time by number 6, Omari Lewis, filling Casey, because if he doesn't hit him, he could have a touchdown. He was the last man there to fill the hole.
And they're going to have a first down, and then we have
well, it's not a flag. I thought it was a flag.
Yeah, color flag out there. I don't know what that's. So
Westhill.
That was Jordan McDonald, the senior safety, saying, I don't need this, thank you. First and 10 East Lyme, right on the 20-yard line. And this is, aside from the fumble they recovered, this is the best drive of the day, that best territory for East Lyme.
Yeah, they got something working.
Little end around, bouncing to the outside is Patrick Tolley. And Tolley with a nice gain on a little end around. Bring it down inside the 15-yard line to the 14. Good first down run. As East Lyme is going to that running back by committee that Coach Bagos promised we'd see.
Well, we see some power up the middle, and then we see some speed on the edge and mixing it up a little bit. You see Hart on a little counter trap. So all 3 guys here getting touches on this drive for the Vikings.
Yeah,
East Lyme Vikings.
I think they like Carey as that power guy with Tolley and Hart sort of causing a little bit of edge disruption for them.
Right, and I think Westhill is more focused on stuff in the middle part of the run because they've got some good speed guys that can go east-west in the secondary.
Carey in the backfield.
Take chances.
Fakes the handoff. Goes deep. Corner route. Looking for Hunter Lewis, and it's overthrown in the end zone.
Perry's pass in the end zone.
Nice throw that time. A little bit outside of it. Just out of the reach of Lewis. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Nice size, by the way, from the junior wide receiver, Hunter Lewis. Ran a nice route on play action there. But I think if you're East now, I'm going to play amateur coach here. I'm running the ball twice.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I got 4 yards to go. I'm going to give it to Carey.
And Hart.
And then Hart. And I'm going to say I can't get 4 yards. And I'm going to tell my offensive lineman, if you can't get 4 yards against these guys with 2 cracks at it.
Let's push them around.
That's right. Carey is the lone set. In motion. Now goes straight up the middle. Carey breaks a tackle and puts his head down. Not trying to do much more than that. And I think it's going to be right at the stick, and it's going to bring up 4th and about a foot.
Boy, that second level is right there for the running back. All he's got to do is get through there. The middle of the field is wide open on a quick hitting play like that because Westhill is selling out. There's no safety back there. And if Carey can find his way to get through that second level, he walks into the end zone.
Yeah, if he can get through Rudy Ramos and Tyrese Bazile and the big guys up front, it's a lot of room, but you're right. Hunter Lewis now goes wide left, 4th down and about a foot. Perry.
9 guys in the box.
Hands off and hit out right at the line. We'll see where the
it.
spot is. It's going to be close. Carey, but did he get there?
Chris Ellis on the stop that time, number 9 from his safety position. I don't think he got it.
All about the spot. Got to see the spot. Westhill doesn't think they got it.
Kevin Moreland says yes.
And the touchdown is a
Wow, going by that's a favorable spot. I thought Ellis had him stopped in the backfield.
Yeah, Westhill's not happy right now, and I think
Look at Joe DeVillis.
yeah, Moreland's official Moreland is, I think, a little being fooled by
timeout for a measurement.
the lines. So they're going to call a timeout here and have a measurement. And based on that spot, he's not close. So I don't know.
See Chris Ellis pointing the other way. He says, I stopped him.
So we'll see what happens.
All right, your first call of the year. Is he having it or not?
Based on that spot, he's short.
I don't think he had.
Based on that spot, Westville ball.
I don't think he picked it up just watching it play live.
No, he's not even close. Look at that.
Let's go.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right.
He's a full half a yard short, and Westhill comes up big on fourth down.
And look at Coach DeVillis out on the field with his team, rallying them. They get the possession with 8 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Big play by the defense outside that time. Chris Ellis, junior defensive end, stuffing the run. And like you said, Casey, if we can't get 4 yards on 2 carries.
Yeah, they pounded it, but Westhill give them credit. So now first down Vikings. O'Connor will go back from the shotgun. They're wide and spread inside their own 20. Drop. Plenty of time. Out pattern. Has his man. That's Lewis breaking a tackle all the way to the 30-yard line. Omari Lewis, junior wide receiver. Big play on first down, and Westhill is out of the shadow of its goal line all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, great underneath pattern that time by Lewis. Ryder Kurtz running, streaking down. Cleared a lot of space for Lewis to come in, sit down in that spot, Casey. Nice, easy pitch and catch. I like the routes that these Westhill receivers are running.
I like going no huddle now, turning up the tempo a little bit here. O'Connor going to throw it again. Plenty of time. Sideline pattern, and he just outside of the reach of Kurtz. Had him, and I think that one is one he would like back.
He had room. Kurtz was there. Kurtz turned himself, made himself available. Throw was just a little bit to the wide side of the field. He missed his man. It's a nice duo over there with Omari Lewis and Kurtz. It's a speed, there's size. That's a handful on the short side of the field right here for the Vikings.
Second down here now for Westhill, and this has been the story of their time. Big play and then sort of stalling.
Yeah.
Little quick out, and now again O'Connor with a lousy throw that time. That's the first one I'm going to call it a lousy throw.
Yeah,
that was
he
a lousy
doesn't
throw.
have to make a perfect throw there because the East Lyme defenders giving him 6 or 7 yard cushion. So you could set up shop, give it to him for 6 yards, and he could turn forward and fall down and get the first down.
Yeah,
but the throw has got to be there.
Yeah, you can't throw it behind the guy and behind the line of scrimmage behind
Right.
the guy. You have to throw it in his vicinity. And Kurtz is such a big target, he's hard to miss. But believe it or not, it's going to be 3rd and 10 now for Westhill after that promising start. O'Connor over the middle, and that time he overthrows Lewis.
That's a touchdown right there.
That's a touchdown, but
Touchdown.
instead it's going to be a punt. And Westhill is going to have to punt the football back to East Lyme.
He's going to have to give Lewis a little more time to break free. He had a step on his man. There was no pressure on O'Connor. Just settle down back there, son. Calm down. Get your feet. Let your receivers get out into the pattern and deliver the goods.
Yeah,
Man, that was 6 points. That was a 71-yard touchdown pass.
You know, with no pressure on him at all, no need to get the ball out of his hands. That was a little bit quick.
Relax.
Go, Nasir.
Just relax. You got your skill people out there, and they're making themselves available.
Sophomore Nasir Thornton now going to punt it away for Westhill. You saw East Lyme get to the last one and block it.
I think the quarterback on the sidelines talking to each one of his wide receivers, too.
Good snap. East Lyme's rushing, and they looks like they got a piece of that one as well. Takes a favorable bounce for Westhill, but the Vikings got to another one. And Thornton did everything he could athletically, but the Vikings of East Lyme are going to take over inside the Vikings of Westhill territory.
You know, now the common theme of the game is, you know, East Lyme has the better field position. It was Westhill in the first quarter, now it's East Lyme.
All right, I'm going to make your day, Sports Doctor, because a team that I thought had a little mojo going to this year, that's Patty Smith's Plainfield Panthers. They're down 20-0.
Sure.
Ryan at halftime, Ryan Bakken with 3 first-half touchdowns for
Water receivers, yeah. Good Sam Menders is a good ball player. Christian Hightower, Peyton Sutton, your guy.
My guy, my favorite Sutman. Up the middle, breaking tackles. Hart still on his feet, down to the 30-yard line. First down on first down by Cam Hart.
Hart's best run of the night, 15 yards. Casey will dance it in the hole. Stick your head down and finish Cam Hart. North-south running. Good play call. A little bit of a delay that time,
Yeah, it was
Casey.
nice. Yep.
Good delay, kind of slowed down the defense coming in. Hart's a patient runner. He's been in this program a long time. Big play.
Yeah, I like East Lyme, whether it's out of the shotgun. I like the physicality now. They're starting to turn it up a little bit. Got Westhill on their heels a little bit here. See what they do. Perry hands it back to Hart again. Another big hole. Bounces to the outside. Cam Hart is going to have about 7 yards on first down, and this is the Viking offense that we were expecting. Up-tempo, but a physical running game.
Amari Lewis coming up to make the tackle out of his safety position. Trying to stand up Cam Hart, but a good gain on first down. 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, manageable second downs for East Lyme. We've seen them have this before, and they go play action and haven't really had much. This is where I think, again,
strap it up,
run the ball.
Run the ball. You're in 4-down territory right here. 2nd down and 5. You got 3 downs to get 5. Let's go to work.
Tolly is the back alongside of Perry here on 2nd and 5. Perry fakes the handoff to Tolly, and he overthrows Galbo, and it's out of bounds. It was not a lateral, but it was close. And there's, again, getting cute on something different. And I think both teams are guilty of this right now.
Yeah.
Both teams get a big play and then kind of try to trick you to do something different. I think it's just, do what you do well.
I understand you want to run sets and stuff like that, but 2nd down and 5, I'd go back to that double wing. Run 22 up the gut. Try and pound the ball up the middle. You're going to get 3 downs and get 5 yards. Move the sticks, reload again.
This is almost identical to what we saw in their last possession.
Yeah, they get stuff short on 4th down.
Yeah, the difference being it's about 10 yards farther away, but that's it.
Spread again.
Perry from the shotgun, Tolly's in the backfield. This time, pitch left to Tolly. Cuts it back to the middle. Has a first down. Still on his feet, inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. And now that time, counterintuitive. That long toss.
Spread the defense out, yep.
Which you would think would not be smart against the undersized speed team.
Right.
Because everybody's got to get their man, but that time a nice job of blocking it.
And a nice job of running it, too. Patient running that time by Tolly. The blocks got set up. Again, a little bit of almost a stretch play we used to see back in the day. So get some holes and find it, and I like the play call. It's a different play call. We haven't seen that yet tonight.
1st and 10 from the 15. Perry stands in the backfield as the quarterback from the shotgun. And he fakes the handoff to Tolly in the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Omari Lewis in the end zone.
Pass intercepted at the goal line.
Or they're going to say at the goal line. This is an interesting call by the official. Huge difference here. Touchback or the 20.
Well, Lewis was there. Great press coverage at inside position. It'll be first down from, I believe, from the 1-yard line.
Oh, what a bad break for Westhill. The interception by Lewis is huge, but then putting it on literally the goal line, the 1-yard line, is a terrible break for Westhill.
Well, Westhill's going to have to play some power football now to get out of the shadows of the goalpost, but I tell you, I like that kid Lewis out there. He is a ball player.
5:17 remaining here in the half, and Westhill has it 1st and 10 from the 1-foot line.
Power eye right here.
And a quarterback keeper, O'Connor, just bullying his way up to the 5-yard line, and then a flag comes down. And if that's a face mask against East Lyme, it's going to do the work for Westhill. We'll see what the officials say.
From where that came was either a hold against the offensive line or a takedown. It's going to be against East Lyme. It's going to be a face mask.
Oh, no, it's going to take personal foul, blow to the head.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to move Westhill all the way out past the 20-yard line.
Oh, talking about not helping yourself right there, the Vikings. Tough penalty.
That's a 15-yard penalty, takes the ball out to the 20.
So 5 minutes and 10 seconds, and now O'Connor can run the offense for Westhill.
Strange game, huh? Some big plays. I mean,
Friday the 13th and a full moon coming up.
I mean, just no scoring.
Handoff, off tackle, nothing doing that time. Westhill gave the ball to Dave Delancourt. No, check that.
David Moody on the carry, brought down by
David Moody.
Yeah, David Moody. Moody with the carry, and nothing there. Nice job by East Lyme. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That was straight power football that time. Right at that power eye, and they're going to show this look again.
Moody again in the backfield, a diminutive back, not as big as some of the ones we've seen earlier. O'Connor going to throw in the flat. Beautiful catch out there by Omari Lewis, and he's down just shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and a foot.
Yeah, Lewis can play. You know, he shows you flashes on the defensive end, can catch the ball and rhythm out there. Nice pitch and catch. And Casey, we haven't seen this type of offensive set from Westhill yet. Back-to-back plays. Now they're in the power I again, showing you a little bit of everything. Run and pass out of this set.
Well, I'm going to tell you something here in a second after this play. O'Connell hands off to Moody. Moody dragged backwards by Hart, short of the first down. And it's going to be a tough decision. It's going to be 4th and maybe a foot, but I like the spot. The spot looks like a first down, and they're going to give him the first down. So first down, Westhill. Quarterback, Matt O'Connell, Jr. Matt O'Connor, Jr. Omari Lewis, Jr. Jed Engel, Jr. Ryder Kurtz, sophomore. That's the quarterback and 3 of his receivers coming back already. Running back David Moody, freshman. This Westhill team,
no joke.
They're on the rise.
Ball's out.
Loose. Looks like O'Connor was able to fall on it. And it'll be a loss of 2. It'll bring up 2nd now and 12 as we're under 3 minutes and 30 seconds here remaining in the first half. No score. Figures Friday the 13th under a full moon. No score.
Yeah, I think at this juncture of the game here, Westhill does not want to give the ball back to East Lyme.
No, they want to go into half. Toss left to Moody, trying to get to the sideline, showing speed. Galbo comes up, but he slips inside of him, and he'll be up close to a first down. Nice job that time by Moody.
The cutback.
Yeah, Damon Simonson finally got him out of bounds, but that was a nice cutback. He left Galbo going in the wrong direction.
Stayed in bounds, the clock keep running, 3 minutes.
3rd and a yard, maybe less than that, 3rd and a foot.
9 guys in the box right now for the Vikings.
Staying in the power I is Westhill. Quarterback keeper, and depending on the spot.
Nobody home.
Again, Simonson, the sophomore, along with Hart.
Yeah, he's a full yard short. I see Leo Baza on the other side of the field marking you down. He's a full yard short.
So that's going to bring up an interesting call here now for Westhill.
They're going to go for it.
No, they're going to say first down. They're
Wow.
moving the chains. They're moving the chains.
Wow.
First down.
Did you? Okay.
So
I
big
gotta put
first
my
down this
glasses
time.
back on.
Yep, big first down this time now.
Wow.
Westhill creeping up. They're at their own 40-yard line here. 2.5 minutes remaining in the half. Hands off again to Moody. Moody straight up the middle. Breaks a tackle. He'll get 5, almost 6 on first down. Nice big gain that time. Brought down by Scotty Galbo, but so Westhill having some success now with Moody up the middle.
Yeah, good vision in the hole that time by Moody, Casey. You know, again, you saw the cutback on the play before. That time hits the hole, cuts back to the right, gets himself 6 yards, keep things moving. I like the little change of pace here.
Like the freshman running back. He gets it again. This time tries to bounce to the outside, and a beautiful job that time. Josh Morton, the senior, got a hand on him, and Moody couldn't wrestle away. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Now Morton off the defensive end position at time. A little handful of jersey. Not going anywhere out there, son. 3rd and 5, 140 and counting.
From the shotgun, empty, 5 receivers. O'Connor, 1:30 remaining on a big 3rd down.
Keep an eye on Lewis.
Plenty of time. Now he's brought, and he is sacked. Coming in is Joe Reitmeyer, the senior, with the sack on O'Connor. And all the way back to the 35-yard line, Westhill. That ends that drive.
O'Connor, not once, twice, but 3 times checked down receivers, coverage sack that time for East Lyme. Great job by the secondary. Nobody open downfield for O'Connor.
Big loss.
Great defensive stand there.
Reitmeyer was right in O'Connor's face. It's going to bring up 4th and 14 with 1:16 remaining, and I think you got a punt, but East Lyme's blocked your last 2.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with those defensive linemen. They keep working up there, The secondary comes in, they cover a few guys, you get a little crack, boom, you got the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how in the matter of plays things can change. Westhill guys were running wide open. There was 4 guys in a pattern wide open, and that time we get a coverage sack.
Yeah, nobody open.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
He may go for it.
I mean, if you don't often see going for it 4th and 14 from your own 36-yard
Yeah.
line. But considering the last 2 punts of Westhill have been blocked by East Lyme, maybe you do. I don't think so. I think he's going to punt it. They just got to block better. See if they go away from that spread formation on the punt and go to a traditional
They're
punt.
going to punt.
So we'll see what happens when Nasir Thornton this time. Let's see if they go spread again or if they're going to, which looks like they are. They're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's going to sprint out and punt it.
Yeah, he's coming a little closer this time. Good snap this time. And that time he gets the punt off. Low line drive taken at the 35-yard line. And brought down very quickly. Nice tackle. I thought Patrick Tolley had a little room, but
Jack Engel wrapped him up down there. He did have some room.
minute 7 remaining in the half, and I think East Lyme is going to be content putting this thing to bed.
Oh, I tell you, it was a big tackle there by Engel. He had some room over here on the outside.
Yeah, Jack Engel, the junior, that time with a strong tackle. Because that was really, he didn't hit him. Just got a hand on him and brought him right to the
Those
ground.
line drive kicks are no good. You could return those kicks too. Those, you know what I'm saying?
Not me.
Line-
I can't.
You could. And Peter Wabi could. I could take it back 40, 50.
I couldn't. I think
Peter
Peter,
could.
yeah, I couldn't return those kicks. Well, looks like they're going to try to move the ball here. Perry's going to throw on first down. Deep out pattern. Galbo wide open at the 30. Cuts inside the 20. Galbo still on his feet. Touchdown, East Lyme with 57 seconds remaining. Scotty Galbo gets wide open. Jordan McDonald can't bring him down, and East Lyme goes up 6-0.
54 yards on the pitch and catch that time, and McDonald ran over Jordan McDonald. Galbo has been the #1 guy here in the first half for this East Lyme team, Casey. And just like that, a big play, momentum a fickle thing going into the locker room.
Just like I said, there's no way East Lyme puts it to bed. JoJo Higgins, biggest place kicker on the planet, comes in to kick the extra point now here with 55 seconds remaining. And he'll kick it out of the hold of Max Karen, but we're going to get a flag. Probably going to be a delay of game. No, it's going to be
12 men on the field.
12 men on the field against Westhill. See if East Lyme decides to go for it, go for 2 now, or whether they'll kick it. They can move it from the inside there and get it a little closer. Declined. All right, so they just want to kick this thing and be done with it.
Oh, what a big play, huh? Galbo's did some big catches already in the first half.
Oh, he's wide open. That was the best throw Perry's made all day.
Yep.
Put it right on his hands. Kick is high. It is up. And it is good. JoJo Higgins puts the extra point through, and with 55 seconds, 7-0 East Lyme. But, I mean, how fitting is it that in a game where it looked like nobody could get any rhythm going, that East Lyme, when it appeared that they were probably just going to run it right off the clock, said, no.
We're going to go to our tight end and hit you for 55 yards.
And that's that route that he missed Galbo on earlier.
Yep.
Got him that time, isolated on the safety, Jordan McDonald, who's one of Westhill's best tacklers, and then Galbo
just had too much for him. He's a truck out there. You just kind of run him right over.
And a huge play for a touchdown. And that's so disheartening. If you're Westhill, you played so well in the first half defensively. You really gave up only one other big play, and then that play at the end of the half.
Oh, I mean, the first play of the game, East Lyme's got a first and goal from the 10, can't convert, and in the last, 55 seconds, they hit a, 56-yard bomb for a touchdown. Go figure.
Back deep for Westhill, number 21, C.J. Hickson.
All right.
Strange, huh? You thought they were going to put the game in the cooler for the halftime.
I did. So now, instead, Higgins will kick off with 55 seconds remaining. And the way things are going, Westhill will probably bring this back for a touchdown. Higgins approaches, and high spiraling kick comes down 20-yard line to Hickson. Hickson breaks a tackle. Hickson has the sideline. Hickson has one man to beat, and he's all the way to the 50-yard line.
C.J. Hickson, knows what to do when the football is in his hands, my friend.
Semnoski was the only guy left, and he was able to get him out of bounds. But with 48 seconds remaining now, Westhill's going to throw.
Yeah, they're going to throw it, yeah.
50-yard line, they're going to throw the football.
They I got some targets out there.
And as much as we've liked what we've seen from Omari Lewis, I think Hickson's the dangerous one.
Yeah, he's got some wheels.
I want to see them try to get the ball Hickson's hands in the middle of the field. But of course, because it's a kickoff, well, you can't have a kickoff without. I mean,
holding.
I am now officially on board with no more kickoffs. No more.
Why?
Put the ball in the 35
Take a big play out of it.
No, I don't care. Take
a big play out.
What big play? This 80% of kickoffs result in penalties now.
Big plays, big sponsors. What's different?
Do it some other time. Do it during the 4 downs. You don't need a kickoff. No more kickoffs. I'm banning kickoffs. O'Connor pressured, rolls to his right. He's going to keep it, and he's going to run out of bounds as he was chased by Cam Hart. So nothing doing, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
What percentage of kickoffs do you think there's an illegal block in the back on?
In the NFL?
Well, in anything, high school, college.
NFL about 75%.
Almost every play, yeah.
3 out of 4.
I would agree.
In college, I think
they can take a knee anywhere now, right?
College, I think it's more like 50-50.
Yeah.
And here in high school, probably about a third of the time.
But you think definitely in the NFL almost every.
Get done. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're surprised when there's not a flag.
Yeah.
Pressure again, and Hart's going to get him. Down goes O'Connor.
No jailbreak that time up front for the entire defensive line, and Hart was in there. That's a big-time rush.
Yep, Zachary, Todd, Galbo, Hart, they were all in the backfield that time. And I think Westhill's going to let this thing tick down. 19 seconds remaining. They'll probably run one more play here on 3rd down, and then I think they're going to be content this time with 10 seconds remaining. This is going to be the final play for Westhill in this half. O'Connor over the middle. And it's off the defender's hands. And that'll take us down to 4th down with 1 second remaining. But the theme here of this last series is O'Connor picking himself up off the turf. He's been getting smacked around. East Lyme has been coming after him. And that'll take us to the half. And we are at halftime here at East Lyme High School. 7-0 the East Lyme Vikings. We'll come back with the halftime show and get a listen with the East Lyme Band. You're watching Game Day Live, Day.com.
The Day strives to cover stories our readers care about. With a feature called Curious CT, we make it easier for you to tell us what you want to know about the people, places, and issues in southeastern Connecticut. You submit a question, readers vote, and we investigate and report. Go to theday.com/CuriousCT for more details. You ask, you vote, we investigate.
We're back here watching Game Day live on theday.com. We're at halftime at East Lyme High School in the Battle of the Vikings on Friday the 13th in the opening night of Game Day. And the sports doctor Keith O'Brien here alongside of me. 7-0 East Lyme on a weird play at the end of the half from Noah Perry to Scotty Galbo. And it's just a weird first half in general.
Well, I mean, field position, early was owned by East Lyme on a turnover, couldn't convert. And it seemed like Westhill had things going downhill. Couldn't, quite cash in. And then it was just like a back-and-forth game, and you're waiting for something to happen. And when you're waiting for something not to happen, it does.
Yeah, I really thought they were putting it to bed. Now, a new feature this year on Game Day is last year the sports doctor and I, we said, we got the best student section, we're going to come out and bring you pizza. Well, this year, the sports doctor's brilliant idea, we want a battle of the bands, whether it's us at your school or you sending in clips to us. We want to reward with pizza the best band, flag corps, drum line that we see on game day. So first up on the year, the East Lyme Vikings marching band. They're out at midfield, and they will be our first participants in the Battle of the Bands here at halftime of game day at East Lyme High School.
Let's watch the show. Bring it on, guys.
18 minutes at Wickham Park. We scored less than half the points of the second place finisher, E.O. Smith. We finished in 12th place in the Open, but Whitaker and Abbey advanced to the New England Championships in Manchester, New Hampshire. The 2018 team had 34 participants, many of whom came to support the team at the state meets. The 2018 junior varsity also finished first In the ECC, your East Lyme High School boys.
Before we get to the East Lyme bands, we sing that
state champions,
the Class M
Avina,
state champions
Noah
in boys
Barnhart,
cross country,
Thomas
the East Lyme
Benelli,
Vikings,
Luciano
being honored here at
Andrew
halftime.
Geiger,
The
Leon Passman,
2018 Class Double M
Christopher
state
Abbey,
champions
Samuel
of boys
Bennett,
cross country,
Joshua
the East
Foster
Lyme
Hall,
Vikings.
Jack LeBeau, Aiden Leola, Walter Rapindo, Hayden Yoon, Magnum Brandt, Ethan Cooper, Zachary Herico, Richard Wang, Andreas Pergalicius, Fisher Macklin, Chan Mansfield, Jacob Noble, Griffith Hosgay, Devin Reddy, Fred Rapindo, Luke Anthony, Jonathan Dowd, Willis Philitro, Cody Johnson, Cole Jorgensen, Noah Krishnaswamy, Eamon Patel, David Stoddard, and Ilyas Syed. Your cross country boys Class Double M state champions. And now your 2019 Class M state champion girls lacrosse team, the 2019 East Lyme girls lacrosse team, and their season truly remarkable, capturing the program's second state title, first since 2006.
And now you see the 2018 girls lacrosse champions of East Lyme High School. They're being honored here at halftime as well. Congratulations to the East Lyme girls lacrosse champions
Megan Bauman
in 2018.
The team saw contributions from a variety of different players throughout the season. They all had a hand in the championship run. The path to the finals began with wins over Mercy and Fitch, teams the Vikings had beaten during the regular season. In the semifinals, the defense stifled the Massac offense and held them to just one goal in the second half. And that set up the finals match with St. Joseph. Again, the defense strong, the offense produced timely goals. Trailing 3-1 in the first half, the Vikings scored the next 6 goals to put the game away. Maya Rose, stellar in goal, voted the most outstanding player for the game. The players truly appreciate all of the support and well wishes they received, and know the season would not have been as successful without the entire community. To help to honor the team, they've created a GoFundMe page to help raise funds for their championship rings. You can find the page by searching Champs. Power of a Positive Team Brings Us Rings on GoFundMe.com, or you can stop by the girls lacrosse table near the concession stand to pick up some more information. Your girls lacrosse 2019 Class M state champions: Sammy Velakis, Maeve Conner, Natalie Taylor, Sarah Christensen, Julia Bates, Kristen Healy, Laura Agbayani, Dylan Park, Sophie Taylor, Abby Mountain, Julia Groff, Davin Roberts, Anna Johnson, Caroline Reel, Ellie McCoy, Nancy Alden, Erin Bauman, Megan Bauman, Sydney Sager, Izzy Mozzie, Maya Rose, Hadley Farragut, Meredith Healy, and Cora Lovedahl. Head coach Bill Snyder, assistant coach Laura Daly, assistant coach Webb Buckley. Your 2019 Class M State Girls Lacrosse Champions, East Lyme High School. And now on the field, our very own 2018 Connecticut State Champions, the East Lyme Viking Band, under the direction of Ms. Angelica Kowalski, Assistant Director Adam Bobowski, Drumline Instructor Aaron Maddox, Pit Instructors Tristan Poole and Christopher Nealon, and Color Guard Instructor Dana Peroon. This year's 2019 show is a Latin show entitled Prague Rock, being conducted by Senior Drum Major May Chuba. Drum Major May Chuba. Is the band ready? East Lyme Viking Band, you may take the field in your 2019 halftime show performance.
Well, Sports Doctor, there's our first look of the Battle of the Bands, the East Lyme Marching Band, our inaugural band of the year. Ironic as we look over a full moon setting over the field here at East Lyme High School. Good start.
Yeah, I love the band, little bass guitar. I love the guitar, the snare drums, everybody in sync out there. Fantastic job, East Lyme High School. You guys brought the goods tonight. Sports Doctor was impressed.
Is it enough to get the pizza? That's all that matters, though. Is it enough? Now, East Lyme, just because this is the night that we're here, does not disqualify you from sending in clips all throughout the fall. If you think that tonight was not your best performance, send us a clip of what you think is. And for the rest of you schools out there,
we're coming for you. Montville, Waterford, NFA, New London, wherever we're going to go, we want to see the Battle of the Bands, Casey. And you know what? Not more cowbell. More guitar, please.
And you don't need for us to be there because it's technology. Send us a clip.
Send it in.
Use your phone. A 6-year-old with an iPhone can do this. So
Did
can
it.
you.
The J strives to cover stories our readers care about. With a feature called Curious CT, we make it easier for you to tell us what you want to know about the people, places, and issues in southeastern Connecticut. You submit a question, readers vote, and we investigate and report. Go to theday.com/CuriousCT for more details. You ask, you vote, we investigate.
We're back here live on game day on theday.com. Casey O'Neill and the Sports Doctor Keith O'Brien, 7-0 here. And ironic that only now, late, does the full moon rear settles over the home of the Vikings. But what happens when the team coming in is also the Vikings? So is it home of the home Vikings or is it home of the road Vikings? Well, so far, the home Vikings threw a pretty quirky play at the end of the first half, up 7-0.
Yeah, under a minute to go, you figure, 56 yards away from pay dirt that Rudy Begos is going to kind of sit on it and take he's got the kickoff to come out to start the second half. You thought he would kind of play it safe, but not so fast, my friend. A little 56-yard bomb from Noah Perry to Galbo is by far his favorite and most productive wide receiver in the first half. You saw Galbo with a shoestring pitch and catch. You saw him missing off his fingertips, but at that time he was wide open, and Perry delivered, Casey. Momentum, a big thing in high school sports. Right now, East Lyme feeling good, and right now, Westhill saying, okay, we're only a score away from the game, but you haven't scored yet.
Let me see if I can summarize that first half. It's interesting. Thursday night football opened up 2 weeks ago with one of the single ugliest football games I've ever watched between the Packers and the Bears, where neither team could really do anything. It was full of penalties and turnovers and bad offense. Well, this past Thursday night, last night, the Buccaneers and the Panthers played another really ugly football game where nobody missed passes and guys wide open. Well, those are professional teams. This is a high school team, and it's their first game of the season. But that's what this game feels like. It's clear neither of these two teams have gotten
ready.
No, they don't have their feet under them yet for football. It started on the opening play of the game when Westhill fumbles the football inside their own 20, and East Lyme can't capitalize at all.
First and goal from the 10.
And mostly because Noah Perry's first two throws were about 6 inches off in the corner of the end zone, over the middle of the end zone, and they turned it back over. From there, East Lyme literally didn't move the ball at all for the next quarter.
Right.
Westhill, on the other hand, moved the ball up and down the field with ease. Big chunk plays, but couldn't punch one in.
Yeah.
Then East Lyme starts to move the football and can't convert. They turned over twice on fourth down. Then East Lyme throws an interception onto the goal line. Westhill takes over its own goal line, goes immediately down the field all the way to midfield. Looks like they're going to move the ball. And then they turn it over, and East Lyme gets it back with a minute left, and we all agree that's it. Whew! We withstood the storm. Let's put it to bed, go to halftime. What do? First play, Perry throws the Galbo for a touchdown.
56 yards.
Friday the 13th, full moon and weird.
That's in a nutshell. That's in a very big nutshell, but that was the first half in a nutshell. Again, at times we saw power football from East Lyme. We thought that would be productive. We saw a spread formation from Westhill. And Hickson with some catches in space. Lewis, Ryder Kurtz, you thought he was going to make a difference, but they couldn't capitalize. So you saw a little bit of different things from both teams, but no real identity. And surprise, surprise, the big touchdown pass going in the locker room during the score.
And a theme as we headed down the half was the physicality of East Lyme. When they started to move the ball offensively, it started with when they switched and they put Carey in the backfield and started using Carey to pound the football, Tolly and Hart on the outside. And that set up that play action touchdown to Galbo. Defensively, East Lyme's made a commitment to getting to O'Connor. O'Connor, of the last 7 times, now think about this, of the last 7 times he dropped back to pass, 6 times he was either sacked or hit or pressured.
Yeah, and I think we used our term coverage sack a few times for East Lyme too, and that's trusting your corners, that's trusting your safeties to make sure they lock down some of those speedy receivers and give your defensive line and linebacking core an opportunity to bust through and hit the quarterback. It's a great point.
So as we go to start the second half, I really don't know what to expect in this second half. I think East Lyme, I think Rudy Bagos is going to
I think he's going to run the football. Yes, I do. And I think what Westhill needs to do, and head coach Joe DeVillis, you saw success early with Hickson. Some of the quick slants, some of the things across the middle of the field, get their athletes in space and let them make plays. I think that's going to really, really help. They've got some playmakers over there. We called their names all in the first half. You called Lewis, obviously with some of these other kids, Hickson and.
Well, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with you in this respect. I think Westhill had its best look when it went under center, power eye with the freshman Moody. I think they have to do that because if they put him in the shotgun, East Lyme's just going to go and hit him every single time.
All right.
And so I think you're right about East Lyme. I think you're gonna see right now. Rudy Bagos is going to get the ball. I think he wants to give it back with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And up 14-0.
2 scores. Yeah.
And that's what I think he wants.
That's an ideal world. Yep. 7-minute drive.
Yeah.
64 yards. 2nd and 5 every drive.
Jaden Alday, the senior kicker for Westhill, will kick it off. And Tolly's back deep. Kick instead goes to the sideline, and it bounces away from Hart. He tries to field it, loses it, and it goes out of bounds.
And trouble over there.
Nothing like starting with a circus play here on the first possession of the second half. As I think Hart, ill-advised attempt to pick that one up on the bounce. Probably should have let it go out of bounds. Instead of having it at the 30-yard line, they're going to have it at the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 East Lyme at the 20. And let's see if they go back to Perry under center with Carey in the backfield. Perry and Carey.
Eliminate the kickoff. Eliminate no more kickoffs.
And, of course, they're going to go from the shotgun.
There you go.
With Perry in the shotgun and on first down. And he hands off to Hart straight up the middle. That's the push forward for game 3.
Past the 20.
But I definitely think that Rudy Bagos wants to tire out Westhill.
He wants his offensive line to wear down the front of Westhill. There's definitely a size advantage.
I think on both sides of the ball. I think the second half, he thinks the physicality. You clear your defense, hit the quarterback, offense, push them around. I think that's the message here at halftime, and we'll see how Westhill responds. 2nd down and 7. Perry from the shotgun. Long toss, Hart, stretch play, cuts it back inside, and nothing there. Nice pursuit that time. Haven't called in a while, but Matt Ricaldi from his linebacker position.
That's exactly what that is. A little toss, sweep, / stretch play. Get some space. Give Hart a cutback lane so we can turn it up front. And that time, a nice job by Ricaldi. We haven't called his name in a little bit, but he's played a great ball game with the linebacker.
Yeah, Big Rudy Ramos, number 70, is playing tackle along with the small guys. And he's responsible for eating up a lot of space in there. And that's what he just did on the last 2 plays. Him and John Libertor are really eating up space in the middle of the formation for Westhill. 3rd down, Perry to throw, has time, out pattern, incomplete. Galbo ran it 5 yards farther than what Perry threw, and that is the opposite of what Coach Bagos wanted. That is a minute and 20 seconds off the clock, and they're going to have to punt it away.
And that was just awful communication and timing between quarterback and wide receiver. Boy, he loves Galbo, though. he looks for him on
4th and 5,
almost
they'll
every
bring
single
out
pass
Jojo
play.
Higgins for the
Galbo
East
out of the
Lyme
tight end position, number 40.
Edward and
Senior
Hickson
Scott
back
Galbo.
deep for Westhill.
And my guy, I'm going to say it every time, my guy Jojo Higgins coming into punt. When do you see listed as your position, offensive line, defensive line, punter, kicker? First time.
265 and growing.
First time ever. Yeah, he's only a junior. Higgins awaiting the snap at his own 10. Low snap. He handles it. Very calmly gets off a high spiraling kick. Comes down to Higgins. Higgins at midfield. And, Hickson at midfield. And he is wrapped up. Nice job by Hunter Leza.
About a yard.
So Hunter Leza on the nice thing. Give Higgins credit how
He gathered himself. Yeah, he poised, Casey.
Yeah.
Didn't no fumbling, bumbling, rumbling, stumbling. Gathered the ball in and got off a pretty good kick under duress.
he did. But Westhill now, it seems like they've had every possession at midfield. Other than when they started on their own foot. But
Oh,
now they're going to go, like I said, right from that power eye, right?
yeah.
Nope, they're going to go from the shotgun as
Why
well.
you're up here and not down there.
That is why I'm up here, not down there. O'Connor tries to get him to jump. Hard count. Pass, little out pattern. He throws to Kurtz. Kurtz has it. 7-yard gain on first down.
That's that left side they tried to work in the first half with Kurtz and Amari Lewis over there. One guy runs deep, one guy runs short, creates some space. That time Kurtz kind of sat down, gave his quarterback a target, and a nice pitch and catch. Casey, that's an easy 9 yards because the safeties are playing way back for East Lyme.
That'll bring up 2nd and short. O'Connor right back up to the line. Amy in the backfield. Pressured up the middle and sacked. Cam Hart, and another jailbreak by the Vikings as 1, 2, 3, 4 Vikings come through and sack O'Connor, and that's what we saw in the first half.
Well, there's not enough blockers up there. When you go empty backfield like that, you bring an extra defender in like Cam Hart, you can't block them all.
If they're not going to throw, that was so fast, he couldn't even do a 3-step drop and throw.
And he's operating out of his shotgun, too.
This is why I thought they'd go back to the under center, but again, what do I know?
He's got to have a quick arm from back there. Look at East Lyme showing blitz on almost every play.
3rd and 10. O'Connor has time this time. Out pattern, and it's over the head of his intended target. He was looking for Sam Edward, and that'll be 4th down, and I think we're going to see Nasir Thornton punt.
Some different looks that time on defense from Coach Rudy Bagos. He's showing T.J. Horner, and he's showing Hart on a blitz. That time they drop back into coverage. O'Connor's a little confused, throws too soon, makes a bad throw, 4th down. I like the mixing up right now. It's going on with East Lyme on D. Hey, 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. You're going after this one.
All right, Thornton will punt. They've had 2 blocks so far. They got 1 off. Let's see. Good snap. Not a lot of pressure this time. And he gets a little low line drive, rather. Down inside the 10. Takes a great roll for Westhill. That's going to go all the way inside the 5-yard line. Bad decision to let it bounce. I like what East Lyme's doing on the punt rush. They know he rolls right, so they just overload that side and send someone in. He rolls right into the pressure.
Yeah, Horner's out there, whoever is coming off the edge for the Vikings. But nice job that time by Thornton.
1st and 10 East Lyme.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 East Lyme.
Field position right there.
Well, Westhill had its chance at operating from inside the shadow of its own goal. Now it's East Lyme's chance. They'll be at the 5-yard line, 1st and 10. So
Spread again.
Spread it out, 3 wide receivers. Perry from the shotgun in his own end zone. And we're going to get a flag.
A false start against East Lyme. All kinds of movement on the offensive line.
See what the officials call. And it is, in fact,
offside.
Offside.
Wow.
Against
Westhill. Wow, I can't call it.
That's a bad penalty, though. When you got a team at their own 5-yard line, you can't give them 5 yards. Now it's 1st and 5, right in East Lyme's wheelhouse.
So you're either lined up offsides or you're jumping pre-snap?
They lined up offsides, because there was no movement. Now, I want to see if Rudy Bagos has the courage here.
Chuck it deep.
To put it in Hart's stomach, take it out, and hit Galbo streaking up the middle of the field. 1st and 5. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper. And Perry's going to have 3 or 4 yards. That's
He's going to get 6 yards here. It's going to be a first down, yeah.
Interesting play. We haven't seen that since second or third play. They tried that on the goal line going in.
Yeah.
That's a gain of 6.
Gain of 6, first down. Sports Doctor was on top of that one.
Well, a run-pass option with your quarterback who doesn't run.
Well, that's really not a run-pass option. That would just be he ran the football, but it's really not an option then, is it?
Oh, the option pulled it out of the belly of Hart.
Well, but the quarterback clearly does run then.
Just a running play.
That's right.
Okay, there you go.
Quarterback keeper.
The quarterback keeper, yeah.
Handoff to Hart. Nothing there. A nice pursuit that time by Westhill. They're going to stop Cam Hart after maybe a yard.
Off the west side for a couple tough yards.
I give that scrappy defensive line a lot of credit from Westhill. Casey, you talk about the size advantage up front for East Lyme. Those kids are hanging tough. They're, at times they've got pushed around, and other times they haven't. They played a good ball game.
Gain of 1. Second and 9.
East Lyme definitely has the size advantage.
Second and 9, and you really just you think East Lyme's going to just keep pounding and pounding here,
They go spread.
They've got to get another first down though if they're going to get the field position moving. Handoff again to Hart. Hart breaks a tackle. Hart in the open has a first down. Now showing speed, cutting to the outside, crosses midfield and knocked out of bounds at the Westhill 45-yard line. Huge run from Cam Hart.
30 yards that time on a cutback guy. Cam Hart got himself into the second level. Good vision downfield. Came all the way across and finished the run. His best run of the ball game.
Just what the doctor ordered for the East Lyme Vikings. First down, clock runs. Now you're in Westhill territory, and you got big Rudy Ramos, the big lineman, tapping his helmet saying, "Coach, I need a sub."
Yeah.
That's the first sign that they're wearing out the line of the Vikings of Westhill.
You see what Hart can do when he gets himself into the second level, Casey. He can break some big ones.
Perry from the shotgun. Pass over the middle, had his man wide open and
TJ
dropped.
Horner. Oh, TJ. Get those basketball hands out. He could have walked into the end zone on that one. What a great play call that time.
That right there was 3-on-1 fast break.
Oh.
Luke Leonard puts it right in his hands.
And he missed the layup.
And forget missing the layup, he dropped the pass.
Yeah.
Oh, TJ won. That was a great play call. Great play call on first down. Play action. Sent Horner up the middle of the field. And that's why he is best known as a linebacker.
Yes, and a shot blocker and an enforcer.
One of the
that was a sneaky play call, too. It was
I like that
wide
play call.
open.
Now they're going to go spread, same formation, but they're going to put Horner on the other side on first down. Perry's going to throw. Pressured, and he's going to be sacked. John Liberatore. 10 yards loss. It's going to be 3rd and 20 back into Viking territory.
Chris Ellis in there, number 9. We've called this number a few times for Westhill, cleaning up the mess a little bit. Nobody open and not enough time to throw for Noah Perry. That's one of those things where as a senior, you got to recognize that and ditch that ball out of bounds. Don't take the loss.
It was I like the pressure, though, because it was pocket pressure. They didn't come just up the middle so where they could flush him. They created a nice little collapsing pocket around him. Really no place for him to go. Now with 3rd and 20.
Whew.
And I don't know, East Lyme's got a whole lot to draw up here. Perry, handoff, dangerous, broken tackle, Tolly, and nothing there. Nice job by Engel and Sheatham. Bazul is in there as well.
Isn't that something? You go off the big play from Hart, then you go try and pop the home run down the middle with Horner, who'd had 6. How you putting the football?
Just like that,
Yeah.
JoJo Higgins back on the field to punt it away. Clock running, under 6 minutes remaining. And this is kind of where I thought East Lyme wanted to be without giving the ball up. I mean, this is going to give Westhill another possession. That's 2 possessions outside of the Hart play where East Lyme really didn't move the football.
And burn a lot of clock.
Right. Higgins to punt. Snap was dangerous last time. That time it's good snap, fielded well. And Higgins hits a high,
Good kick.
spiraling kick, and it takes a good Westhill bounce.
Gotta get on it.
Vikings got to jump on it, and they do, but Westhill will have decent field position at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, it's only about a 22-yard punt. How my Lancers do tonight?
All right, sports
How
doctor.
we doing?
Ryan Bakken throws his not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 touchdown pass of the game. Waterford 33-7 over the Plainfield Panthers. Wow.
I do recall a little conversation by the three of us at a Philomena's restaurant. We'll talk about that after.
Out pattern thrown and incomplete. He was looking for Edward, and the Vikings have definitely tightened up their pass defense. The football game between Montville and Stonington, where Stonington leads 40-34 after 3 quarters, will be resumed tomorrow, Saturday, at Stonington at 10 a.m. So if you're interested in that 40-34, you want to go watch a quarter, like you watched 8 minutes of a Red Sox game, a suspended game, you want to go watch a quarter, tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Nice.
O'Connor, a little out pattern to Engel, and it's incomplete, and that'll be 3rd down.
Right now, no rhythm, no tempo, no identity, no touch, no feel for quarterback O'Connor out there. He is struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I think O'Connor has been hit, pressured.
Sure.
I think he's a little quick right now.
Yeah.
You saw that in the first half. He said just
A little quick, yeah, with no pressure.
Right.
Now he's got some biggins breathing on him.
Yeah, 3rd down.
Here they come, loading up that left side.
O'Connor, a little swing pass to Lewis. Lewis cannot break the tackle of Hunter Lewis. So Lewis Hunter tackling Lewis Omari. 4th down, Westhill will have to punt.
Yeah, swing pass that time to Lewis in the flat, trying to get a little bit of space. Nice job. Nice job by East Lyme on the pursuit.
Valley Regional Old Lime's Anthony Rosario had a 36-yard run down to the Morgan 2, and then he takes it in on the very next play. Valley Old Lyme 23-0 with 1:06 remaining in the second quarter.
Timmy King down there, huh? Doing his thing.
Another of our game day favorites. We like going to the hill.
Kevin Woods, offensive coordinator.
Nasir Thornton will punt. He stands at his own 20-yard line. Clock ticking with under 4.5 remaining. Good snap. Thornton runs up, hits a low line drive, spiral, fair catch, muff, ball loose. I think East Lyme fell on it. Hunter Lewis called for the fair catch, but he muffed it. And fortunately, the East Lyme Vikings will fall on it at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, we talk about Timmy King, the head coach over at Old Lyme Valley. Kevin Woods, the offensive coordinator. Kevin Woods is the head basketball coach. Rudy Bagos is the golf coach. Gary White, the lacrosse coach for East Lyme, is on the side. These guys, they all help each other out. They're all interchangeable.
So here's a big possession for East Lyme. 4:14 remaining in the quarter. Up 7-0, and the ball in a good spot at their own 35. Can they eat clock and get this thing to the fourth
You want to
quarter?
see them just chew up the rest of the quarter.
Quarterback keeper by Perry, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That was an RPO that had no O. It's not an option if the defense doesn't respect the run.
Yeah.
They're just,
No.
So
it's not really an RPO.
not really.
Do they respect the pass?
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna, they're gonna sell out on Hart when he puts it, and they're gonna tackle Hart whether he has the ball or not, figuring Perry at best gets 3-4 yards. I mean, they're not gonna respect his breakaway ability. 2nd down and 9. Perry this time hands it off to Hart, straight up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he goes to the 40-yard line.
And Hart busted up to the 40.
Brought down on the play by Bazile.
Yeah, Bazile, good job by tackling Casey. Got down low, wrapped up Hart. Hart slips that tackle. He's off to the races.
Yeah, Bazile and Chris Ellis, we've been calling their names a lot. They're the linebackers, defensive linemen kind of rotate in and out. And right now, this is a big 3rd and 5. 3 minutes remaining here in period number 3. And if East Lyme can convert, that'll be a big 1st down, keep the clock going. Perry from the shotgun. Hands off to Hart. Hart spins, and he's going to be short. And East Lyme's going to have to punt it away. Not a 5-yard play, and I don't think they have the ability to go.
Well, they're loading up on that left side is Westhill. They're bringing an extra defender over there. And we're not going to let Hart beat him off that left side.
And more dangerously, Hart is on the turf right now, grabbing at his leg.
His calf, maybe. Cramped up.
Cramp up calf muscle.
Brother on the sidelines with a broken fibula.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the tibia, the fibula. Tibia being the top one and the fibula being the bottom one.
Yeah.
So with 2:44 remaining, we'll see if East Lyme punts it away. And a lot of changes because of the mosquito threat. Obviously, the equine encephalitis virus has been transmitted in local areas. Now, no mosquitoes have tested positive in East Lyme, Waterford, Old Lyme, which is part of the reason why this game is being held tonight. However,
so sports doctor, you can make a day of it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I can go to Stonington.
10 o'clock, you go watch Stonington.
Yep, noontime, I can go to New London.
Then head up the road 2 o'clock to NFA.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
that's a good
that your
call.
plan tomorrow?
I don't think I only need much more. I mean, that's going to be a tough game for New London.
That is a
tomorrow.
good day of football.
That's
though.
a good day.
Yeah, you get to go see one of the state's best. You know.
Yeah,
can,
Drew
yeah.
Maybe
Pine, yeah,
maybe New London does a little something.
Listen, when do you get a chance to see a kid who's going to play quarterback at Notre Dame?
No, that's true.
You're an Irish fan.
Huge.
So I'm saying you get to go chance. You can go.
Yeah.
Hey, then you call Notre Dame and go, hey, this is the sports doctor.
That's right.
I got a little insight for you.
Call Brian
hey,
Kelly.
Coach, hey, coach, I got a little
Yeah.
insight for you. He says, who's this? He goes, a sports doctor. Sports doctor. What do you got for me?
This Pine kid is the real deal.
Hey, thanks, sports doctor. That's why we offered him a scholarship.
Who they play tomorrow? New Mexico State? Notre Dame.
Yes. Clemson, right?
No.
Clemson, Georgia.
No, Georgia next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, yeah, New Mexico State.
At Georgia.
Yeah, JoJo Higgins into punt for East Lyme here. 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining.
Clemson at Syracuse tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Which we thought was going to be a trap game until we saw Syracuse lose to Buffalo Community College.
Well, we
22
talked
yards.
about this. There's two teams in college. Two teams that are clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. Alabama and Clemson. Maybe Casey, Oklahoma. With Tua. Maybe Oklahoma.
I think Oklahoma and Georgia and Ohio State on a given day, 1 out of 5 times maybe. So you never know. But the other two, I mean, I think Alabama. I think if you combined Alabama and Clemson, they could beat Miami.
Yeah.
Dolphins. O'Connell. I keep wanting to say O'Connell. O'Connor. Toss and nothing there, and good defense by East Lyme. It'll get the clock under 2 minutes remaining, and I don't think Westhill knows what it wants to do.
Yeah,
right
Joe
now.
DeVillis is trying to find some sort of offensive identity with a minute and a half left to go in the third quarter. Like I said, I don't think they really have a plan right now. I mean, we saw it. You know, Hickson's a kid that can make some plays. Why can't you find him in space? Probably because he's not on the field.
No, now we see a quick sub. Kevin Sanchez into the game.
A lot of confusion.
Yeah, West again, first game of the year. Clearly a lot to work out. O'Connor throws, hitch, penalty, had Sanchez incomplete.
I think O'Connor is really quick in his throws back there, and he is starting to feel the heat up front.
That was actually a good throw. Hit Sanchez in the hands. Ball bounced off, and we're going to get a penalty on the play anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered one way or the other. We'll see what the officials say.
I think it's going to be against Westhill, a little legal procedure, legal shift.
That's the third of those too.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of confusion. Westhill struggling with that. So again, back to the games, folks. If you're, I think you're going to see a lot. Be prepared. You're going to see a lot of teams moving their Friday night games to Saturday, and we on game day will do our very best to accommodate
until the first frost.
Until the first hard frost and the mosquitoes go away. But just be prepared. Changes are on the horizon. A lot of schools moving, and we'll talk more about the possible effects it has. O'Connor to throw, hit as he does, and that one sails out of bounds on third down. And coming in and making the hit, Zachary Todd. And every time O'Connor throws, they have to pick him up off the ground.
Yeah, Zachary Todd that time found a crease, Casey, almost a bull rush there. And you're seeing now an extra linebacker, whether it's Hart or Horner, creep up to the line of scrimmage, and they're really confusing the offensive line for Westhill. There's not a lot of communication out there.
So next week, we are scheduled to bring you Waterford, your Lancers, at Montville.
I tell you, I see 7-3, 8-2.
There is the possibility that game could get moved. Date, time, we will see, and we will keep you informed. But changes in games are going to happen over the next few weeks as schools do their very best to keep people, fans, kids safe.
Listen,
not risk that.
Our game day crew, our producer Peter Wappy coaches his son in soccer. You've got a son wrapped up in youth football. And when these games change, it's hard for the schedule.
It is, and that's a good segue as Thornton punts. Another line drive. This one's going to bounce at midfield and take a good Westhill bounce, and then it spins dead like a wedge at the 45-yard line.
It's tough because, you're not only an announcer, but you're a parent. You're a coach. Peter is the same thing. Carlos has kids. Everybody's got something going on.
Well, it's funny because my son was due to play at 6 o'clock tomorrow night in a Saturday night game, one of the only 2 night games they have in Colchester, and that game has been moved to 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon because same thing. They the town of Colchester has imposed a curfew on all fields an hour before sunset.
Isn't that something?
So we'll see how teams have
You
to
won't
adjust
be around.
that.
You'll be in North Carolina.
I'll be in Asheville, North Carolina. Fake handoff over the middle. There it is. That time Horner's got it. Head down, head of steam, rumbling down to the 20-yard line. Perry to TJ Horner. They went back to it. He didn't miss it that time.
Give me a second chance, coach. A little slip to tight end. What a nice pitch and catch that time. Perry to Horner. And he is a load to bring down.
And all the way to the 22-yard line. And that's exactly what East Lyme needed.
Yeah.
Under a minute remaining in the third quarter, they can now comfortably run the football, get this thing into the fourth quarter, and possibly go up 2 scores.
Listen, that play was talked about the entire series that Westhill had the football, and the first chance they could pop it, they did it.
That's right. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Fake handoff. Perry to throw. Corner route. Has a man. And I think we're going to see a flag out there. No flag. They're going to say good defense by Booker out there.
Both guys have a right to that football. The ball was thrown a little bit to the inside. And the receiver's saying, throw it to my outside shoulder. You don't have to throw that ball to the inside. I'll come back and get it.
I'm a little surprised that the officials didn't throw the flag. I thought that Booker sort of impeded his ability to get to the football. But like you said, he's got a right to his spot too. And it's going to bring up second down. I would be shocked.
Robbins is a wide receiver out there. If you throw that ball a little more to the pylon, that's 6 points.
I would be shocked if they don't run the football here. Handoff goes to Tolley. Cuts it back up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle. Still on his feet. Pushing forward. Nice run from Patrick Tolley.
First time you were right tonight.
It is the first time. It is absolutely right.
No, really, it is.
But they want to get this thing to the fourth quarter desperately. And they do not want to go out here. So you're going to see this going down to the end of the period, I think, where they'll go.
They don't have to snap it.
3rd and 4. I think they're going to take to the clock, talk about it, walk all the way down to the other end of the field, and run it down there. Or maybe they'll do the
quick
whole
snap
bark. Maybe bark and try to get them offside.
Yeah.
Under 4 seconds remaining. 3,
Don't
2, 1. We are at the end of 3 periods here at East Lyme High School. Your score, 7-0 Vikings of East Lyme. On top of the Vikings of Westhill, you're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
We are back at East Lyme High School, where the Vikings of East Lyme are winning the Battle of the Vikings. They're up 7-0, fourth quarter action. And with 12 minutes remaining in the ball game, East Lyme knocking on the door, starting to come up with a little something here. Nice pass to Horner, and then a run by Tolley. 3rd and 5. Any chance at all that if they don't get this first down, that they don't go for it with a run? No field goal, right?
No field goal.
No JoJo Higgins for the field goal?
No, let's go up 2 touchdowns here, and let's try and put this thing out of reach right now, because Westhill hasn't showed you any ability in the second half to even pick up a first down, not make a sustained drive.
Yeah, Westhill's got to go back to that power eye with Moody at the tailback. That was where they need to go. So Tolley is the setback standing next to Perry. 3rd and 5. Ball is at around the 12-yard line. Pressured, stepped up, and sacked. Back at the 19-yard line is Perry.
C.J. Hickson that time in coverage on Galbo, nowhere to throw the football. So great job that time by Hickson, covering Galbo, the favorite target of Perry.
That'll bring up 4th down. Nothing.
What are you guys laughing at me?
No, because you were able to articulate directions in a way that was satisfactory to a very eager fan while still not breaking stride on your commentary. I was just very impressed by that.
You think it's funny?
They wanted Sports Doctor to read the 50-50 raffle ticket.
It'd be my number. I can tell you that right now.
And he's done everything else. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I could do it.
That's the trifecta. Game day, Coast Guard, and a 50-50 raffle.
Big win by my Bears up at Nichols.
So did they win that game?
Yeah, 24-23 in overtime.
Hey,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us what happened there, Sports Doctor?
Just 24-23.
But didn't something unusual happen?
Game went to overtime. Nichols scored a touchdown and missed the extra point. Coast Guard came out, scored a touchdown, made the extra point.
Wow.
How you like that?
I'll tell you right now.
7-3 last year.
Sports Doctor, I think that's fabulous.
Listen,
I love the Coast Guard guy.
Peter Wappy's going to go to a game this year.
I love the
Peter
Coast
didn't go
Guard
to a
guy.
game at all last year, and they finished 7-3.
Any friend of the sport, besides, Artie Lamoureux is one of my favorite people. I love him.
How'd you get your sweatshirt?
Sports Doctor.
Wasn't for
through
me.
Artie Lamoureux.
No, I Artie gave it to me to give to you.
My man Artie.
It wasn't my doing, I can tell you that.
All right, big fourth down play here for East Lyme. 4th and 2. Snap. Gonna throw over the middle, has a man. Touchdown! Galbo! Second of the day. 13-0 East Lyme.
Well, that time Hickson got beat inside position by Galbo, and Perry delivered the goods, his favorite target all night long. That time you saw Galbo get inside position, beat Hickson, make the pitch and catch from Perry. What a gutsy call that time by Rudy Bagos and the East Lyme Vikings.
4th down, they liked it, whether it's Horner or Galbo. That tight end running the post pattern right off of the play action. Gotta love it.
Yeah, they called timeout, and they went right back to that very same play, Casey, and they burned him. That's twice they've gone back to the same play. The once on the drop by a Horner going across the side, and again by Galbo. Tremendous.
JoJo Higgins knocks through the extra point, and with 10:43 remaining, 14-0 East Lyme. And here's why this is a real dangerous possession coming up for Westhill. You got a lot of time.
Yeah.
You gotta go back to the protection package
Sure.
from the eye, because if you go from the shotgun just trying to sling it, East Lyme is going to hit your quarterback every single time.
And they will. They're going to bring some pressure. They've kind of figured out some things in the secondary. They're bringing some extra people. They're showing you blitz on every play. We'll keep an eye on this in this series, but Hart and Horner are creeping up to the line. Sometimes they blitz, sometimes they back off. O'Connor's been confused.
And I think you made a really good point in the first half, which was you could see the effects where he was starting to release the ball a little bit early when he didn't have any pressure, getting the ball out too quickly. Now that the pressure's coming, it's hard to get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, but isn't that what happens when you get hit a few times? You get hit, you get happy feet. And
your favorite boxer of all time, Mike Tyson, said everyone has a plan until they get hit.
I love Tyson.
Now you reference Mike Tyson to a kid, and he goes, the guy from The Hangover? The guy with the tiger?
Yeah.
We're old, sports.
One night in Bangkok.
We're old.
Great fighter.
Higgins kicking off from his own 40. Low line drive. Takes Hickson back to the 15-yard line. Check that. Edward cuts it up to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Nice run back. Sam Edward, number 2, took it back to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10, Westhill.
You can see those East Lyme players, Casey, right now, a little extra pep in their step, dancing over there on the sidelines, and they are circling. They are like sharks in the water right now.
So they're going to go. Now, they do have Moody in the game, but they now split him out. They're going to go empty set. 5 wide receivers. Can they protect O'Connor long enough? O'Connor has time. Out pattern, tipped and caught. Beautiful caught by Hickson.
That ball was almost picked off by Hunter Lewis. He stepped right in front. And again, I think sometimes when TJ Horner goes up to the line of scrimmage, he shows you blitz and he backs off. It kind of fuses O'Connor a little bit. But he's lucky he didn't get that ball picked off.
2nd and 3, 10 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the game. 4th quarter action here at East Lyme High School. O'Connor, again, empty set, 5 wide, quick throw, and threw it to Engel, and it was thrown inside, and it was almost picked off again, and that's twice now Hunter Lewis has been right in the territory there.
You've got Hickson and Engel on the same pass pattern, basically. There's a lot of traffic down there.
That's the second time tonight. I'm not sure which guy he was.
Yeah.
Was that overthrown to Hickson or underthrown to Engel?
Yes. Yes.
So, 5 wide. Kurtz is the guy wide left, but let's see if they use the short side of the field.
Big third down here for this defense.
Quick out. That time, Engel with a great catch for the first down. Credit Jack Engel. That pass was behind him. Acrobatic catch as the junior gets Westhill a first down.
Big third down.
Clock still running. 9 minutes, 45 seconds remaining.
East Lyme has been backing off that pressure, Casey. Let's see on first down if they bring some heat. Here they come.
Well defended over the middle, and it's intercepted and dropped. Intercepted and dropped. Hunter Lewis again. That ball was underthrown, intended for Lewis. Not a good throw from O'Connor, who's thrown that ball over the middle very well.
Yeah.
But Lewis tricked him, dropped back into zone, and had the interception. And he dropped it as he came to the ground, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Some different looks here. A little
And
false
flag.
start.
Another false start again on the shift. And right now, well, Westhill went, 1-9 last year?
Yeah.
And Coach Davila said it's a work in progress, right?
Yes.
They want to be better this year than last year. And you can see there's some talent out there.
Yeah.
But these are the kinds of things that drive a coach crazy. Poor execution. Just they don't look in sync at all.
Well, I think it's from the different looks that East Lyme is showing on defense, too. Creeping up the different linebackers to the line of scrimmage and just trying to rattle the cage of O'Connor. And he's a high school kid.
Yeah, a lot of
He is a high school kid.
A lot of veterans out there for the Vikings. O'Connor to throw, has his man. This time Lewis cuts inside, close to a first down. Beautiful throw, and Lewis will be over midfield into East Lyme territory, bringing up another big third down. This time, though, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Playmakers in space, Lewis and Hickson, if you can get them the football, they can pop a home run.
Under 9 minutes remaining.
2 down territory right here.
Absolutely. Down 14-0,
Yep.
9 minutes in the game. O'Connor to throw. Nice little slant pattern.
Lewis.
Going to be all the way down to the 41-yard line. Move the chains. Clock will start up with 8:43.
Lewis has played a nice game tonight, Omari Lewis. Half dozen catches or so.
Yeah.
Good football player. Two-way player.
First down. Westhill. Out pattern. Looks like brought down by Kurtz. About a 5-yard gain, but the clock will run. 8.5 minutes. Got plenty of time.
No plays in chunks, though, for this Westhill offense. No big plays, nothing downfield. Everything, East Lyme wants to keep everything right in front of them.
Yeah, they're showing East Lyme's got 11 guys within 5 yards of the line, but they're dropping guys back. There's a little out pattern to Hickson, and he can't break the tackle. Beautiful open field tackle. Will Anglin, the sophomore, with a little trip, because Hickson was a step away from busting that to the outside.
That's what you got to do there. Just grab a piece of the ankle and hang on.
3rd and 5, but more importantly, clock now down under 8 minutes remaining.
A lot of different looks here by this East Lyme defense. Stand-up defensive lineman, drop back into coverage.
O'Connor going for it all, has Engel and throws it out of bounds. Good coverage by Lewis. And O'Connor overthrew the sideline route, and that's going to bring up 4th and 5. And I mean, realistically, Westhill has any chance to win this game, or to even get back in this game, they got to get this first down.
You talk about the great coverage down there, Casey. The ball was thrown to the out-of-bounds line, but Lewis was not going to allow that receiver to come back into the field and make that
Well,
catch.
they teach you. Use the sideline as a defender.
Yeah.
Keep your guy in between you and the sideline and use that sideline as the other defender. And he did a great job of doing that. 4th down. Looks to throw. Has Engel right at the stick. And I think it's going to be enough for a first down. Jack Engel. Engel's a good, savvy receiver, knows how to run good routes, knows right where the chains were, got just enough. He did 5, he got 5 and a foot.
Yeah, put his feet on the sidelines if he has to, can straddle it a little bit.
Think about what we've seen Engel do.
Yeah.
Drag his feet, right, to get 2 in.
Yeah.
Leap and dive and make an acrobatic catch. Possession catch right there.
And like you said, he needs 5. I'm going to run this route 5.5, 6. He's not going to turn around at 4 yards and make the catch.
I mean, is there anything that drives you crazy
I hate that.
than a 4-yard route on a 5-yard first
I
down?
hate that. I mean, a personal foul there by East Lyme, too. Casey, we see that on all levels of football.
Oh, it drives me
all
crazy.
levels of football.
NFL is the worst because they think,
They think
someone's going to make a
tackle.
play. Everyone's going to make a play. First down now, ball's at the 15-yard line. O'Connor Westhill with its best chance in quite a while. Got a little something brewing. O'Connor rolls left. Pressured. Throws. Has Lewis.
Tackle.
Short gain. Nice tackle out there in the open field. By
Hunter
Lewis.
Lewis on Lewis. Yeah.
Hunter Lewis on the tackle.
And the
Hunter
biggest
Lewis
issue
played
now
good
is
ball.
tick, 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 tick.
Second and 9.
Mikey D.
Under 7 minutes. Now we're down 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Second down and 9. Pressure. O'Connor rolls right. Stops. Throws to the end zone for Hickson. Through his hands. Incomplete.
O'Connor's pass.
He had a step
incomplete.
on Anglin, and that was not O'Connor's fault. That ball was put right on
Yeah,
the
Hickson had his hands on it. Went
Will
right
Anglin on the
through.
coverage for the Vikings of East Lyme.
O'Connor play broke down.
Third down.
Came out of the pocket, rolled to his right. Had Hickson.
You know, here I'm going to give you a little something. Jameis Winston, first week of the season, first season of the year,
Yeah.
was deemed to have had a terrible game.
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdown passes called back because of penalties. Okay, last night he had 2 touchdown passes dropped by his receivers. It doesn't take much
Yeah.
to turn a good stat line into a lousy stat
Sure,
line
yeah.
if you don't catch those touchdown passes. Out pattern, beautifully thrown to
throw.
Engel right at the sticks. It looks like that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, it's Lewis.
Nope, that's
2. It's
Nope, that's Edward.
Edward. I'm sorry.
Edward, they're rotating receivers.
Sam
now.
Edward, yeah.
I'm going to give Edward a lot of credit. That was a great route.
Yeah.
O'Connor threw that ball before
Before his
Edward
break,
broke his
yes.
route. That was well done. Can't defend that. So here we go, first and goal for Westhill.
We're still trying to get one in and make this a game.
Ball at the 5-yard line.
Power football.
Under center, Moody's the back. Toss left to Moody. Heads to the outside, and beautiful tackle made out there and brought to the ground. Galbo buries Moody.
Galbo came up from his linebacking position, stuck his head down, snuffed that one out. Galbo's played a hell of a football game tonight.
Depending on where they mark it, that's going to be a loss on the play. That looks like they're only going to
Maybe one, loss
maybe
of
one. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to.
Forward progress.
Yeah. So now you're going to have second and goal from the 6. O'Connor's in the shotgun. He drops. Has time. Corner. Hickson. And he dropped another one.
Dropped it.
The sure-handed C.J. Hickson with his second drop of the drive. And O'Connor can't throw a better football than that.
Good ball that time by O'Connor. Hickson had a step on his man and dropped it. He wants that one back. C.J. Hickson, senior.
So now it's third and goal from the 6. Westhill with 2 golden opportunities to score here.
Go right back to that play.
O'Connor, short over the middle, and it's stripped and incomplete. Galbo on the defense. Lewis had it, and Galbo knocked it away.
Yeah, right now, Westhill not helping themselves down there.
All of a
Couple
sudden,
drops by Hickson and one by Lewis.
Fourth and goal now.
Well, Friday the 13th, bad luck for Westhill.
5:38, fourth and goal. O'Connor with time. Back to that route to Hickson, and he dropped it for the 3rd time. I think Anglin may have gotten a piece of it, but that was there again, and East Lyme holds.
Friday the 13th, jinx on number 21, and the kid feels terrible about it.
Wow. 5 minutes and 32 seconds remaining. A final, Waterford 33, Plainfield 13, and the Lancers are feeling saucy.
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll see you next week against the Indians of Montville, who are in a fight with Stonington. They'll be resumed tomorrow. 1st and 10. If East Lyme can get a couple of first downs, they can get this thing over in a hurry. Handoff, up the middle, big hole for Tolley. Patrick Tolley gains about 5. And East Lyme is not, you're not going to see them put the ball in the air now.
No.
And the clock, they're going to eat up as much clock as possible.
The back judge will give you the hand in the air, 5 seconds on the play clock.
I like when the
Do not snap till this is.
I like when the coach and the official just stand next to each other, and the coach is like, "So how's it going? We're talking,
Yeah.
The wife good?
Yeah.
You good? You guys?
Yeah.
Any barbecue while you're here? I'm
Snap.
gonna call a timeout with 2 seconds remaining. Just like
That's it. Thank you.
Hand off again to Tolley, up the middle, big hole, breaks the tackle, first down to East Lyme. to the 30, to the 25-yard line, Patrick Tolley.
Well, big hole because Westhill is selling out on that run. And if he sidesteps and gets past that first level, he's got about 10 or 12 yards. All Tolley had to do, Casey, was hang on to the football. Nice run.
It would not surprise me to see a touchdown off of a play
big
like
play,
that.
yeah, big play. There's no safety back.
No.
If he gets to that second level, he's gone.
And more importantly for the Vikings.
A new set of downs, more clock.
See what I did there? More important for the Vikings.
Which Viking team?
Well, it's true in both directions.
Yeah.
Most importantly here, 4.5 minutes remaining.
Right.
Clock ticking, tick, 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 tick.
For the East Lyme Vikings.
And for Westhill.
It is true. That's true. You can't be wrong.
I can't be wrong. Live my life that way. Here's Tolley again, up the middle. Not much there, and he'll gain 1, but again, clock ticking. It's the O'Neal creed.
Yeah, can't be wrong. Yeah.
Says it right on the family crest.
Yeah.
I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
Arthur Fonzarelli, I was.
Yeah.
That's Casey.
Under 4 minutes remaining here. 2nd down and 10 for East Lyme. And, down 2 scores. I mean, realistically, Westhill's got to stop them here. Another first down, and then you're going to burn your timeouts.
Chance to talk to Rudy Bagos and some of these kids after the game and talk about that physicality up front.
Perry from the shotgun. Hands off again, now keeps it himself. Run pass option. Has a nice gain of about 7 yards. Best run of the night for Noah Perry, the senior. And there's no way they thought he was going to keep that ball.
Listen, I like that decision because he said the linebackers are teeing on Tolley. And Noah Perry tucks at himself, and he's not very fast. He's not very fleet of foot, but he's big and he's strong. So he can stick his head down and fall ahead for 3 yards.
I'll tell you what he doesn't lack.
Confidence, though, I see.
Yeah, I've been waiting my turn, Sports Doctor. He said, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready.
3rd and 2. We're under 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. East Lyme can sort of put this thing to rest with another first down.
Perry will keep it himself here.
Shotgun, Perry, hands off, and Tolley's not going to have enough. It's going to stop. Let's see if Westhill calls their first timeout. It looks like they will. Timeout Westhill with 2:40 remaining. So JoJo Higgins will come on and punt.
Oh, you roll the dice here and go for it?
No.
No? Not at all.
No, you're up 2 scores because you're not going to make it easy for them. Punt it away.
House money, roll the dice.
No, punt it away.
Come up 7.
No, why? Why would you do something stupid?
Yo 11.
Why would you do something stupid? Well, I should ask. I know why you would do something stupid, Sports Doctor. No, you kick it away.
Kick it away and
You kick it away. You play defense. You got to throw in a shutout. The only thing you don't want to do, you don't want to let them score in 40 seconds and then have time to
That's
score
not what
again.
I asked. I asked, would you go for it on 4th down here? And you said no. That's all.
Sometimes, Sports Doctor, I wonder how much rent you'd have to pay to get inside that head of yours. The way you think.
No, you don't go for it here, Casey.
Well, now we're talking.
You punt it.
You know why? Because you got JoJo Higgins.
JoJo Higgins back deep to punt for East Lyme.
JoJo's had a nice job. And I have resisted the get back JoJo comment throughout the course of this game. Need a good snap. It's there. Pressure. Higgins gets it off. High in the air. And it bounces at the 40-yard line where the East Lyme Vikings will down it.
Job well done.
2 minutes and 30 seconds, and Westhill has to go from their own 41-yard line.
Good football game. Good ball game. East Lyme, like I said, just a little too strong up front. Both teams with a lot of takeaways. Is my band, huh? Like that.
Posted 10 for Westhill.
All right, Westhill, now they gonna have to score, but the clock's gonna run, so got to work the outside. O'Connor on an out pattern overthrows Hickson.
O'Connor's pass incomplete, intended for C.J. Hickson.
That'll stop the clock. 2nd down and 2.5 minutes remaining in the ballgame. As I mentioned before, next week we are scheduled to be at Montville High School. The 1-0 Waterford High School Lancers will head to Montville to play the Indians, and then
To be determined, Montville Indians.
Yeah, that's right.
Tomorrow, fourth quarter.
And then we're on the road to Stratford in week 3. Incomplete flag on the backside being thrown. That's in the area of holding. And we'll see what the call is here. And if East Lyme accepts it, they might They might decline the penalty. Bring up third down.
And again, nothing deep. Everything is underneath right now for West Hill.
Yeah, East Lyme's
There's
doing a nice job.
nothing downfield at all. No big plays, no bombs, no chunks. I mean, the biggest play they had was on the crossing pattern to Hickson in the first half.
There's a flag down.
Holding against Westhill, and as I
Decline,
no, they're going to take it. They're going to back them up, figuring second down. Week 3, we go to Stratford, where we get to see Bunnell of Stratford against the New London High School, against the Fitch Falcons. But Bunnell of Stratford is coached by a former Whaler. Ty Jenkins is the head coach at Bunnell. So you still got a little Whaler flavor. You can't escape it.
No. We're going to have to get a carpool for that game, too.
Oh, there's
you, and Mikey D.
Yeah, there's no chance I'm driving. There's no chance of that. I'll take the train into Stanford. That's wrong. Stratford, Stanford, other end of the state. Either way, I'm going.
Last year, the three of us drove up to Killingly for the London Killingly game.
We did. That was a lot of fun. O'Connor to throw. Plenty of time. Deep route. Has Engel. And he drops the ball at the 35-yard line. And right now, Matt O'Connor has got to be asking himself, what do I need to do for a completion? Because if Jack Engel's going to drop the ball, the most sure-handed guy that he's got.
That ball was right on the money, too.
If I were Coach DeVillis, I'm saying penalties and drops.
Yes.
Penalties and drops. Freakish play in the first half.
Help yourself.
Penalties and drops.
Help yourself, Westhill.
3rd and 10. Make it 3rd and 20, rather. 3rd and 20. Another flag and
Another false start.
Delayed handoff, and I think if this was another illegal shift, if they can decline this one, they will.
Amy up the middle on the carry.
Yeah, illegal shift, that's the call.
There's a flag on
But that's
the
a
play.
pre-snap, so they can't
David
decline that
Smith
one.
with
Yes,
the
they can.
tackle.
They do decline it. So that's going to bring up 4th and 20 with 2:12 remaining. And we are just about at the end of time here for
No gain.
Westhill.
4th and long for Westhill.
As always, the sports doctor will go down on the field after the game and talk to the coaches. And, of course, Tuesday, stay tuned for Wired Zone. No, Tuesday?
O'Connor's pass falls incomplete. East Lyme takes over.
Well, stay tuned for Wired Zone later in the week, as both coaches were nice enough to get mic'd up, Rudy Bagos and Joe DeVellis. Our Wired Zone package with the highlights of today's game. Turnover on downs. East Lyme will have the ball with a chance to run out the clock.
Yeah, and Joe was great. You had a chance to talk to him the other night. I talked to him before the game on the field. You know, wore the mic, and sometimes some of these coaches from schools out of the ECC don't really get it, but he's been a great sport tonight. Tremendous.
He has been, and hopefully that Westhill will be pleased. That's tough, one time when I was a player at New London High School, drove to Immaculate. Danbury. And got beat in extra innings by Immaculate. And I can tell you, that was the longest bus ride home ever. That's going to be this bus ride back to Stanford tonight for Westhill. It's already a long one. It's going to be even longer.
We almost went the whole game without you referencing yourself to playing for New London.
Well, it's true. Good point. And I have to give you credit. You have not referenced
The Wheeler.
Not once.
I'm going to my class reunion.
Oh, that's right, you did. That's right.
Yeah, now you're going down to your college buddies, correct?
Yeah, going down to Asheville, North Carolina, where 10 of my fraternity brothers have a house.
Rent a
in the
house?
mountains. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
One of the advantages, sports doctor, to having some friends from college who have some money is that someone else paid for
You're all
it, so
set.
I'm
You
good
got
to
your
go.
ticket and you
Because I'll
go.
take care of the house.
Yeah, all right.
Perry's going to go under center, hands it straight up the middle to Carey. And the clock will run, and we'll see if Westhill's going to take its second timeout. And they will. That's their second timeout. So they'll be able to stop the clock once more on second down, and then after that, it will be all done. So one of my fraternity brothers was sent his son off to college. And his wife.
Jeez, you guys are old, huh?
Yeah,
It's terrible.
and his wife decided that she was going to go and accompany the young man to college, and so he said, "I got an open house." But then, to his surprise, 10 guys agreed to come, and then we're like, "Listen, we're going to kill your house with 10 of us." So we rented.
When are you coming back? Sunday night?
I'll be back in technically Monday morning.
Okay. Will you be working on Monday?
I have to teach I have to train. I have to do a training on Monday.
Yeah.
It's already being talked about at my work.
Sure.
What am I? I said, guys, I'm not gonna come in looking like death. I'm gonna be exhausted, but I'll be fine.
Monday Night Football comes on, you'll watch the kickoff, and you won't be in bed.
Oh no, I'll be asleep well in advance. Well before that. So 150 remaining.
You're 48 years old now?
I am 48 years old. So I texted my fraternity brother and I said, "Can you be honest with me? What should I expect?" And he's like, "Oh, we're all talk. He's like, we're all old. Don't worry about it." All right, second down. East Lyme will run the ball here, and Westhill will call a timeout. And there's the rollout, and Perry dives forward for a gain of a couple. I don't know why they didn't just hand the ball off, but. And it's going to be timeout Westhill. That's their final timeout.
Right.
So third down, they'll run it. Clock will go down to close to a minute. And then I don't know what they're going to do.
So the last time I go to one of these Wheeler High School all-class reunions, it's at the Mystic Marriott. They do a nice job. They put on a good spread. The last time was a few years back, and Notre Dame was playing Florida State. And as soon as I caught a lift of the games on the TVs, that's pretty much ended the class reunion for me.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
I was good. I was done, yeah. I'm watching my Irish. Isn't it interesting to see the people you went to college with and high school with and stuff like that?
It is, but I'll tell you, I will say that social media has changed that a great deal because when we went to do the passing, we do the interviews and passing, I was walking past and I saw my friend Stacy Hallis, who I went to elementary school with.
Yep.
And she got up, gave me a big hug, and it occurred to us that we hadn't seen each other in person in 30 years. But I recognized her kid. We're friends on Facebook. I recognized her kid. I feel like I talk to her all the time, but I haven't seen her in 30 years.
Sure.
Third down. Little end around for the Vikings. Nate Jean has room. Nate Jean is going to be up to the 20-yard line now. Depending on the spot, that might be a first down.
He is there.
And if he does, that will effectively end this ball game.
Wow, Nate Jean putting the game on ice, showing some wheels on the outside. And that will just about do it, Casey. Like you said, first down right there. Victory formation right now for the Vikings. 110 and counting.
Well, we have a minute remaining in this ball game. East Lyme will run out the clock. Now, if you're looking for those post-game interviews, which the Sports Doctor will have with Coach Rudy Bagos and some of the Viking players, check out Facebook, go to Twitter tonight, and check out those interviews. And, of course, they'll be available to you all week long once those are.
Right?
Absolutely. You got to get
Scott Galvin. Yeah.
And you know what? You know what would be a good one? Talk to Cam Hart about what it was like taking over for his brother.
Yeah. Well, good ball game tonight, Casey. Like you said, both teams just trying to figure things out early, figure out some sort of identity. You know, Westhill 1-9 last year. They've got to clean up their own mistakes. There's talent there. As far as East Lyme goes, maybe they're starting to figure out what they might have.
Yeah, I think East Lyme's going to be happy. Obviously, Westhill has a lot to work on. Problem with Westhill is with that conference, it doesn't get any easier. So next week on game day, I said we will be at Montville High School. The Waterford High School Lancers and the Montville Indians due to tip it off, and then we'll be down to Bunnell of Stratford for the Fitch Falcons and Bunnell of Stratford. And then in October, you, the fans, get to choose our game. So go to theday.com/game day and nominate the games you want to see us do in October, and we'll turn it over to a vote in a few weeks to see what games we're going to do in October. Football, soccer, field hockey, volleyball, all on tap in October. So you know what we got the next couple weeks, and then you choose what we do after that. 14-0 in the Battle of the Vikings on our first official game of the year. East Lyme over Westhill here at East Lyme High School on a Friday the 13th under the light of a full moon. This is Casey O'Neill for the Sports Doctor, Peter Wappy, and the rest of the Game Day crew. Good night, everybody.